Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto gets the Rinnegan when he is a kid. Part 1. If you guys enjoy this what if and want to see part 2, comment down below. And let me know before I start. Please do support for more awesome content. And leave a like and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also share this video with your friends. And check out the description. And check out my playlist. So let's start the video. 3 days had passed since Konoha had been attacked. And for the newly reinstated Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, it had been 3 days of hell. Strangely enough, while most of his woes would have been thought to have been caused by the 50-foot-tall fox that decimated the village, you would have only been half right. A small baby born just moments before the attack, an innocent child that had never done anything to harm anyone. He wasn't even capable of supporting his own head, let alone causing harm to anyone. But it was unfortunately this exact fear that was causing all of Hiruzen Sarutobi's troubles. For the child was not an ordinary 3-day-old boy. This was the host of the very same 50-foot fox demon that had just devastated the village. "Hello Sarutobi-sensei, you look like you have seen better days." A voice came from a nearby window from where the Sandaime Hokage was sitting. "Jiraiya-kun, you are a sight for sore eyes, it has been hell around here. I miss being retired already," Hiruzen said. "So he did it after all. I was hoping the stories I heard were false information. Why did he have to use the Shiki Fusion? There were other ways to seal a Biju," Jiraiya said sadly. "Is that why you returned, just to see if the rumors of Minato's demise were accurate?" Hiruzen asked. "Well, yes and no. Minato's son, Naruto, where is he?" Jiraiya questioned. "Ah, the boy, he is safe and healthy, he seems to be happy most of the time, just like his mother. But he looks so much like his father already," Hiruzen said. "I guess I have to take up my role as godfather and stay here with him now, or I could take him with me, either way is fine," Jiraiya said solemnly. "I'm afraid I can't allow that, Jiraiya-kun," Sandaime said. "What? Why not?" Jiraiya demanded. "Several reasons. For one, I need you to look after your spy network, we need it more than ever at the moment. Secondly, if Iwa found out you were looking after a child, they would know who it was straight away. Why do you think they gave him Kushina's last name, Uzumaki?" "Don't worry about the boy, Jiraiya-kun, I will make sure he is safe," the Hokage said with a smile. "Can I at least see him once before I have to go?" Jiraiya asked. "Of course you can. Strange, I didn't quite picture you as the fatherly type, Jiraiya-kun, just goes to show just how much there is I still don't know," Hiruzen said with a smile. Hiruzen left the comfort of his desk and signaled Jiraiya to follow him. They walked until they came to a room with the door slightly ajar. "He's in here," Hiruzen said quietly. They quietly entered the room so as not to wake the boy, but he was already awake. 3 lines on each cheek that look like whiskers, is this the sign that he is a Kushina? Never had them, but then again her seal was different, wasn't it? Jiraiya said. "No, from what we can gather, those marks were there before the sealing. So they are only birthmarks. If I had to guess, I would say it was because his mother held the Kyuubi when he was born," Hiruzen said. It was at that moment Naruto yawned and gazed up into Jiraiya's eyes. "Would you look at that, same eyes, and I think his hair is already becoming spiky like Minato's," Jiraiya said looking down at the boy. "I bet you're going to be a great ninja one day, kid. I will be back when you're older, so don't go getting too strong without me," Jiraiya said. A small smile crossed his face and he went into his pocket and withdrew a small green wallet that looked like a toad. Then placed it in the crib next to the tiny blonde. "The wallet? Interesting present to give to a baby," the Hokage laughed. "Maybe, but I wanted to give him something that he could use later on in life as well. Anyway, have they rebuilt the bathhouses yet?" Jiraiya asked, changing his tone from serious to that of a super pervert. "No, not yet, sorry Jiraiya-kun, you are going to have to wait to do your research, I am afraid. It is a shame too because that book you brought out was brilliant. What did you call it? Icha. You could make a killing if you turned it into a series," Hiruzen said. "Maybe you are right, my last book didn't really sell many, but this one is selling like nothing else," Jiraiya said. "Is there anything else you would like while you are still in the village?" Hiruzen asked. "No, I should be on my way. If I have to leave I better just get it out of the way now. Keep the kid safe, sensei. I do not want to have to face Kushina when I die if Naruto gets there before me. Oh, and I am sorry to hear about what your wife," Jiraiya said, and just like that he was gone. 8 years later. The short blonde-haired boy was sitting alone on a swing watching the other kids play. In the past he had attempted to join them, but they had always said they were not allowed to play with him. Even the kids at the academy seemed to be extra cautious or simply avoid him. There were however some exceptions. The lazy boy Shikamaru was usually nice enough, but unless you enjoyed watching clouds he was not the best person to hang out with. He also liked playing Go and Shogi, but Naruto didn't know how to play either of them as he never had anyone teach him. Naruto was still sitting on the swing contemplating whether or not he could find a way to join in the other kids' game when he heard a voice from behind him. Hey, you're one of those weird people with no pupils who think they are a noble or something. So do you think you are better than us, huh? The voice said. Naruto turned in the swing and saw 3 older boys bullying a girl from his class. He remembered trying to talk to her once, but she went red and was unable to respond, so Naruto just figured she was like everyone else and wanted him to leave her alone. What do they think they are doing to her? Her name was Hinata, wasn't it? She looked scared, maybe I should help her out. I don't care that they are older than I am, Naruto thought as he got off the swing and started to make his way over to where the bullies were now forcing Hinata to bow and apologize for something. Hey, what do you guys think you are doing? Leave her alone, Naruto ordered as busting into the clearing. But oh look, she has a little boyfriend, one of the bullies taunted. Hey, isn't it the kid our parents said to stay away from? He doesn't look scary to me, he is just as short as this one, the other bully said, pushing Hinata to the ground. I said leave her alone, Naruto yelled and jumped up, punching the bully who had just pushed Hinata to the ground in the face. Alright, we will let your little girlfriend go, but you are going to pay for that. The bully replied and punched Naruto in the gut, forcing him to kneel, and was unable to block all of the punches that were sent at him. When they finally relented, they left Naruto with 2 black eyes, a bleeding nose, and lots of small cuts along his face, arms and legs. Oh no, Naruto-kun, he got hurt to save me, what do I do? Hinata thought as she slowly approached the blonde and became more and more concerned when she looked at the state of him. I need to get help, oh where is Ku, I need his help, she thought desperately. It turned out the young Hyuga heiress's bodyguard was at that very moment approaching. Oh Hinata-sama, there you are, come, it's time to go home, I have a mission tonight and I need to prepare for it, Ku said. Please Ku, he needs your help, Hinata said, pointing to where Naruto lay still unconscious on the ground. Hinata-sama, get away from that thing at once. Ku ordered. But he is hurt, he might need to be taken to the hospital, Hinata said. That is of no concern of yours or mine, he got himself hurt, it is not our obligation to take care of that thing you said. But he got hurt to save me, we should help him, Hinata said, bordering on tears. I will not help that boy, now come on, we need to get you home, just forget that you ever saw the boy, I am sure he won't bother you again, Ku said as he pulled Hinata from the area. She could only look back at the place. Naruto was slowly regaining consciousness, worried if he was going to be okay. It was another 30 minutes before Naruto was able to crawl over to a tree to support himself. Why, what did I do, why wouldn't she help me, I saw her leave as I came back around, why does everyone hate me so much? Naruto said to himself, not caring that the sun was no longer lighting the now dark playground. By the time Naruto finally found the strength to begin his walk home, the sun had long since set and only the streetlights on the corner of every street lit his way. Looks like you finally got what you deserved, who should we send the congratulations to? Came the voice of a man approaching behind Naruto. Turning around, Naruto recognized him as a member of the Konoha police force. Naruto never really had a good relationship with the police force, he had been the cause of far too many pranks for any of them to sympathize with Naruto's current predicament. Look, I have had a bad day, just leave me alone, Naruto snapped in reply. Oh, I don't think I should, you are a disrespectful little whelp who needs to be put down for the good of the village, the man said, and Naruto stared in horror as his eyes turned red with 3 tomo on either side. You know, I think most people will cheer for what I am going to do, he said, taking out a katana from his side. Before he could even move to strike at Naruto, however, he was stopped by the arrival of a man in a weasel Anbu mask. I think you have done enough to merit an express trip to the T&I department, Anbu said. Itachi, you know what he is, just let me finish him. It is because of that filth that we Uchiha have been watched more carefully and had our district compressed until we are almost uncomfortable. I do not care, I will not allow you to harm the boy, Anbu said. Before grabbing the man and disappearing in a puff of smoke. Naruto gave a sigh of relief, but soon lost his breath as he heard a new voice come from behind him. Well, that got rid of your bodyguard, now you are all alone. Normally I would oppose working with that man, but we had the same goal, and nobody else was willing to help. But don't worry, I am not going to kill you, I wouldn't want to risk freeing the beast and returning its power. Instead I think I will just take you far from here, so you can either find your own way back or preferably die in whatever way you see fit, the man said. And before Naruto could even call for help, he was knocked unconscious with a swift punch to the face. It is time that we got rid of the demon from Konoha once and for all, the man said before tying Naruto up and stuffing him into a sack and disappearing in a puff of smoke. But Itachi arrived at Anbu headquarters with his Uchiha prisoner and took him straight to be handed to Ibiki. Ah Weasel, I thought you had an easy assignment tonight, I didn't expect to see you here, the scarred torture specialist said. Well, tonight my easy job was not as easy as I thought it would be. I was supposed to be watching young Naruto-kun when Kizu here decided that my charge didn't deserve to live anymore, Itachi informed Ibiki. That's not true, in fact I wasn't going to harm the boy at all, I just wanted him out of the village, Kizu Uchiha said. What are you talking about? I saw you draw a blade on Naruto-kun, Itachi said. Maybe I just wanted to scare the little brat, Kizu replied. Regardless of the punishment for attempted murder of Naruto Uzumaki is death, you should be aware of that, seeing as you are a member of the Konoha police force, Ibiki said. Blow it out your ass, Ibiki, I'm not scared of your mind games, you would have better luck getting me to break with that snake whore you allow to work here, Kizu spat. Anko Mitarashi happens to be a good friend of mine, and I would advise not calling her that in my presence, Ibiki said. Or what? You will kill me sooner, Kizu laughed. He is clearly drunk, so we are not supposed to kill him, but may I recommend a few hours in the torture room with Anko, Itachi recommended. Why not, should be entertaining at least. Do you want to stick around? Ibiki asked. No, I need to get back to watching Naruto. The kid gets into all sorts of trouble, and it is rather amusing to watch Itachi smiling beneath his mask. Alright, good luck keeping up with him, not many people can, I saw young Tenzo try it, he thought the boy was just going to be at the academy all day, so it would be an easy day's work. Then by the end of the day he comes into the bar and collapses from exhaustion. Kakashi and Yugao had to carry him home. Ibiki laughed. It's true, he can be a handful if you need to chase after him but remain unseen all day. But I like it, there is just something about the kid that is calming and friendly, Itachi said. Have you ever thought of talking to him when you are not on missions? Ibiki asked. I am not supposed to, Hokage-sama wants the boy to grow up like any other child and he doesn't think my influence would help that. And my father has forbidden anyone to befriend the boy. It is a shame too because I think he would be a good friend for Sasuke, Itachi said. Same line Kakashi got, he was not allowed to have prolonged contact with the boy until he became an official ninja. I don't understand it myself, the kid has no friends and is lonely, and Hokage-sama is worried that Kakashi might teach the boy more than he is ready for. The only thing Kakashi could teach anyone is how to be over 2 hours late all the time. Ibiki laughed. Anyway, I have wasted too much time here already. Goodbye, Ibiki-san, Itachi said before he disappeared to locate Naruto and Shunshin. Itachi arrived at Naruto's apartment, he was sure the young blonde would have made it home by now. But Itachi arrived to find Naruto's home completely dark and Naruto nowhere to be seen. That is odd, I only left him a block from here. Maybe he went to have dinner at Ichiraku's before heading home, the stoic Uchiha thought, and once more sunshine away. Again Naruto was not at Ichiraku Ramen. And now Itachi became slightly worried, even though he would never show it. This is not good, I need to find him quickly, Itachi thought, and this time left without using a Shunshin so he could look around the area in case Naruto turned up. After close to 30 minutes Itachi was clearly worried. He could not find any sign of Naruto anywhere. Something that was impossible considering the boy wore a bright orange jumpsuit. I need to tell the Hokage, if Naruto is missing, he needs to know, Itachi thought, and one last time disappeared. He arrived at the Hokage tower and quickly entered and went straight for Hiruzen's office. The Hokage was reading one of his favorite books written by his student, and the moment there was a knock on his door, the old Sarutobi quickly hid the book from sight, in fear of it being one of the many kunoichi who opposed Jiraiya's masterpieces. Hiruzen called once his book was well hidden. He gave a small sigh of relief when Itachi entered. Oh Weasel, what are you doing here? I thought you were busy with an assignment, the Hokage said. That is why I am here, tonight just after nightfall there was an attack on Naruto-kun which I prevented, and I took the person responsible to Ibiki. However, when I went to find Naruto-kun after I finished with Ibiki-san, I could not find him anywhere, Itachi said urgently. Are you saying that Naruto is missing? Hiruzen said, standing up and looking worried. Exactly, but it doesn't seem like he is simply hiding anywhere, I have already checked his favorite hiding areas, Itachi said. Could it be that Naruto has run away? The Hokage asked. It doesn't look that way, his room has been undisturbed, if I was to hazard a guess I would say he has been kidnapped, Itachi said. This is not good. Go fetch Kakashi's team, we need to find Naruto immediately, the old Sarutobi said urgently. At once Hokage-sama, Itachi said before giving a small respectful bow and exiting the room. 2 days later. Kakashi walked into the Hokage's office with a defeated look on his face. Ah, Kakashi-kun, tell me you found Naruto-kun, the Hokage asked pleadingly. I'm sorry, Hokage-sama, we looked everywhere, search parties are still looking, but not even the Inuzuka search teams can find any trace of him, all that we know is he left the village with someone from Konoha. And they were skilled enough to lose any hunter ninja or tracking teams we sent after them, Kakashi said. Then I guess it is too late. I'm sorry Minato, I have failed you in every way, the old Hokage said sadly. It isn't over yet, he could still turn up, Kakashi said. Yes, and he could also be sold to let you know how much they love Jinchuriki, Hiruzen said. If that is the case I hope I live to be far older than you do, Kakashi said, his voice shaking slightly. That's not a nice thing to say to your Hokage, Kakashi-kun, Hiruzen said. Yes, but in fairness Hokage-sama, you can only punish me while I am alive. If Minato and Kushina find out we lost their son and failed to protect him, then they will make us pay for an eternity, Kakashi said. Hiruzen paled when he thought of the prospect of what Kushina would do to him if they failed to recover the young blonde. We need to redouble our efforts immediately, he said quickly. I had a similar response. I will inform the teams at once, Kakashi said before leaving the room via Shunshin. Good luck, I do not want to have to tell Jiraiya about this. I promised both Minato and Jiraiya I would keep you safe Naruto, I am sorry wherever you are, Hiruzen said as he looked out over the stone faces of the Hokage monument. Reaction to Naruto's disappearance was far from one of concern. On the contrary, most of the village seemed to be in great spirits. Nobody but the top-ranking Jounin and Anbu had been informed of Naruto's kidnapping, but the villagers were just happy because they had not seen Naruto for a few days. There were of course some people in the village who were worried. The old man and daughter that operated Naruto's favorite place to eat knew something was wrong when he didn't show up for any ramen in 2 days. And at the academy only one person seemed to realize he was even missing. The young Hyuga girl who had been forced to leave the blonde when he was battered and beaten. Land of forests. The long-haired man carrying a large sack was jumping from tree to tree. At the speed of an 8-year-old child it would take months for the demon to return to Konoha from here, that is if he ever found his way, the thought smirking victoriously. Suddenly there was movement in the bag he was carrying. Oh, so you are awake again, but don't worry, I won't need to knock you out again. I think this would be a perfect place to leave you. After all, I still have a mission to do and I wouldn't want to upset Hokage-sama, would I? The man said before jumping down from the tree and tossing Naruto to the ground with the bag opening around him. Would you look at the demon has healed all the wounds, that might help him to survive. Oh well, I guess I can't luck out completely, the man thought to himself. Hey, I know you, you're the bastard that left me in the park after I saved that girl from your clan. Naruto yelled in accusation. Looks like you got me. But so what if I am, there isn't anything you can do about it, Hyuga said smugly. So what are you going to do to kill me? Naruto angrily refused to show how scared he really was. No, I won't be doing that, it is far too kind for filth like you. Instead I am going to leave you here to die in whatever way you see fit, Ku said. Fuck you, I am going to make it back to Konoha and then I am going to make you pay. Naruto roared. Well, good luck with that, I eagerly await your return, Ku laughed before kicking Naruto in the face one last time and quickly removing the bindings on his arms and legs before jumping off into the trees. Naruto awoke in the middle of a forest floor and his head was ringing. Oh man, what happened to me? Naruto asked nobody in particular. Then it all came flooding back to him. The kidnapping, being carried in a large bag and every time he woke up being knocked back out. And finally being dumped in the middle of the forest completely alone. Man, I don't know where I am or how I will ever get home, what am I supposed to do? Naruto yelled, hoping someone would hear him. Unfortunately he had no such luck. Yes, I am just going to have to find a way to get back to Konoha later, I need to find some people first, Naruto thought, but his mind was soon driven from that frame of mind when he felt his stomach growl. Oh man, I am hungry, I have to find something to eat quickly, Naruto said and began frantically looking around for anything that looked remotely edible. He could not see much, despite it being the middle of the day. The density of the forest made it hard to see far in front of him. As far as anything edible went, he was again out of luck. There was nothing, just trees. As far as the blonde could see, there weren't even any beetles in the area that he could force himself to eat. Looks like I have to keep moving and hope to find something while I move, Naruto thought, and he stood up and began running through the forest as quickly as his small 8-year-old legs could carry him. Konoha 2 days later. Itachi was standing in front of the Hokage with Kakashi. So how has the search gone? Any sign of Naruto-kun yet? Hiruzen asked. It has been over 4 days now and there is still no sign of him. It is obvious to me that whoever the culprit was has a great understanding of how the Konoha hunter and tracking ninja teams operate. I suggest it is probably someone from inside either of those branches, Itachi informed the Hokage. Has there been any ninja go AWOL in the last few days? Kakashi asked. Not all ninja are accounted for, the Hokage informed the copy ninja. Then may I suggest you look at what teams left the village that night and have a team search along any expected routes they may have taken. Well, let's see if I put together both of your suggestions. We have 3 teams and 2 solo missions left on the night that Naruto disappeared. There are 2 tracking teams that I sent to look for Jiraiya as he has not delivered a report in a few weeks, a hunter team that had reports of a sighting of Orochimaru. Also Shisui Uchiha has been sent to deliver a reply to the rebels facing the Mizukage's forces to inform them that we cannot give any direct support but will supply some weapons and funding. Finally Hyuga has been sent to Taki to deliver a message to the new ruler there, Shibuki, I believe his name is Hiruzen. If it is one of the teams then it will mean that this has been planned for some time. However, Shisui and Ku are both highly respected members of their clans and are loyal to Konoha. Kakashi said. We will have to send teams out to follow the path of each of them. I still do not want to think about the prospect of any of them betraying Konoha like this, Hiruzen said. We will send our teams out at once, Hokage-sama, Itachi said and gave a respectful bow before leaving. I won't rest until we find Hokage-sama, Kakashi finished before leaving after Itachi. Land of Forests. Naruto had been walking almost non-stop for the past 2 days and all he had found to eat were several berries on a bush that, while kept him going for a while, were not enough to defeat his hunger. He had thought of giving up several times, but every time the thought crossed his mind a stronger one kicked in telling him to keep going and to never give up. It was because of this determination he eventually came to a road. Yes, I did it, I can get out of here, but I am so exhausted. I just need to keep going for a little longer until I can get to a town, Naruto told himself before picking a direction at random to follow the road and taking off. Naruto continued to walk and soon he was getting lightheaded, he was so tired and eventually the excitement of finding a road that he could follow wore off. Naruto's strength was fading, for an 8-year-old boy to go without proper food for about a week was taking its toll. It seemed to be a battle between Naruto's will to continue and how long his body would allow him to. In the end, the blonde lasted another several hours before he collapsed face first in the middle of the road. Is this it? Do I die here without ever accomplishing anything? If I was going to be Hokage, I would have gotten everyone's respect. But instead I die here on the side of a road in some Kami-forsaken forest, Naruto thought as he struggled and failed to return to his feet. Why? Was the last word Naruto was able to choke out before he fell into unconsciousness. The blonde lay there for close to a day before a horse-drawn carriage came along. A small boy sat at the front seat holding the reins. He was about the same age as Naruto and had shoulder-length black hair that was tied up into a ponytail slightly to one side of the back of his head, so he fell over one shoulder. Hey, there is a kid in the middle of the road. Mom, Dad, come quick, the boy yelled upon seeing Naruto. Who is it? Gisei said, a woman who had long black hair that ran down to her waist. I don't know, look, he passed out in the middle of the road, the boy said. Oh my, would you look at that, he is so young, why is he out here all alone, the mother said, and grabbing the reins of the carriage she forced the horses to stop. Kenpei-kun, help me with this boy, the woman yelled as she jumped down onto the road to inspect Naruto. Oh my, look at him, he looks like he hasn't had anything to eat in days. Just how long have you been out here? She thought as she checked Naruto's vital signs to make sure he was still alive. Is the boy still alive, Minako-chan? A short man with curly brown hair and thin glasses asked as arrived beside her. Yes, he is, but for how long I do not know, he seems to be holding on by a thread, he needs water and some food, Minako replied. Well, let's get him into the carriage, we have water in there, and we will have to feed him yogurt until he regains his strength, the man said, and picking up Naruto bridal style rushed him into the back of their carriage. It was over a day later before Naruto eventually stirred. Where am I? It feels like I am moving, Naruto thought before he opened his eyes to find himself inside a rather luxurious room that seemed to be designed to double as a bedroom and dining room. Naruto tried to stand, but his legs felt like jelly and he collapsed on the floor. Fuck me, this is just not my week, is it? Naruto cursed mentally. What was that? Came a child's voice from just outside the room. Seconds later, Gisei entered the room before calling for his parents to join him. Oh, thank Kami, you are alright, the mother said, concern etched through her voice. The light. I can't stand or move, how is that alright? Where am I anyway? Naruto asked. Well, you are in a lot better condition to how we found you, but I guess you still have a long way to go. As for where you are, we are still in the land of forests, we are heading home to a small village that is not too far away from here, Minako replied while helping Naruto back onto the bed. Hi, I'm Gisei Baoshi, what's your name? And why were you out in the middle of nowhere like that? I thought you were dead, Gisei said. I'm Naruto Uzumaki. Nice to meet you, I'm from Konoha, Naruto said proudly. Konoha? How did you get this far away from home? Minako questioned. Naruto went on to tell them the story of his kidnapping and how he was dumped in the middle of a forest he had never seen before. Oh my, that's just horrible, why would anyone treat a child like that? Minako said, disgusted at what happened to the young blonde. I don't know, not many people seem to like me for some reason, parents keep their children away from me, so I can't make friends, and almost everyone who isn't openly showing me glares of hatred just ignores me altogether, Naruto said. What about your parents? How do people treat them? Gisei asked. I don't have any parents, I'm an orphan. Hokage Jiji said that my parents were heroes that died the night a giant fox, Kyuubi, attacked Konoha, but he said he doesn't even know who they were, Naruto said sadly. Well, you can stay with us until we can find a way to get you home, right mom? Gisei said. I suppose so, why don't you find him a change of clothes? That bright orange jumpsuit has both a filthy and horrible taste, Minako said. What's wrong with my ninja gear? Naruto asked. Ninja gear? Aren't ninjas supposed to be stealthily? You stick out more than the sun in the sky with that thing. I was able to see you from a mile away when we found you, Gisei laughed. At least change the color, Minako suggested. What's wrong with orange? Naruto replied. Well, it is disgusting for one, Minako said bluntly. I like oranges. Naruto yelled indignantly. Well, I still believe that you can do a whole lot better than that. She replied and pulled out several sets of clothes for Naruto to try on. Naruto looked through them. There was nothing a ninja would wear, but in the end decided on a white t-shirt with flames at the base because it had some orange in it and some casual-looking cargo shorts. When he was finished getting changed, he again tried to stand and was pleased to find that he was quite capable of performing that simple task again. We're home. Came the call of Kenpei from the front of the caravan. You're going to love it here, there is so much to do. I am going to teach you all the things I do for fun around here, Gisei said enthusiastically. Sounds great. Naruto was happy that he might finally have found a friend. Konoha 1 week later. The old Hokage had given up, anyone who had seen him was sure of that. Not only did their search for Naruto turn up nothing, but everyone that had left the village had returned, and there was no reason to question any of them. The only person Hiruzen was slightly suspicious of was Kuhyuga. Because the tracking team said that his scent was different than normal, and at one point he seemed to make a shadow clone, so he could continue on in 2 different directions. But that was not enough to send him to Ibiki over. And the tracks of one of them vanished after around a mile, so he supposed he had just sent a clone to scout a possible alternative route. There was also the problem that both of the teams that he had sent to find Jiraiya had returned empty-handed. This was not an unusual occurrence by any means, but if there was anyone who could find Naruto when nobody else could, it would have been his old pupil. After yet another week of searching, the old Hokage was forced to give up the search. It had also become clear that Naruto was missing to the villagers, and there were several parties that had been going on almost constantly. In fact, as much as Hiruzen hated to admit it, the village was the happiest it had been since Minato was named the Yondaime. What would you have thought if you saw this, Hashirama? Did you ever imagine your village would turn on a small boy? And Minato, would you still have the same faith you put into the people and perform the sealing if you knew what would become of your son? Hiruzen thought as he looked at the portraits of the former Hokages. Months passed and it seemed like the village had completely forgotten Naruto ever existed. The only thing that had changed was that Kakashi was always twice as late as usual, as he would spend every second of his free time at the memorial stone, hoping to find some form of closure and forgiveness. From his old team. The Hokage has still not heard anything from his old pupils. Land of Forests. Over the last few months, Naruto had become best friends with Gisei, and he began to look upon the family that had saved him as his own. Thanks to for the first time in his life having a proper diet, Naruto was no longer the scrawny stick like a child. He had grown quite a lot, and it seemed no matter how much he ate, all he ever seemed to gain was lean muscle that caused Naruto to have quite a well-developed body for a boy who had just turned 9 a week before. He thought for the first time in his life things were looking up for him. And the thing was, he didn't even miss Konoha. He had never before contemplated life without being a ninja, but his life here with Gisei and the others was like heaven after the hell he went through in Konoha. But for Naruto, like any other time he had been happy in his life, it had ended far too soon. One day Naruto had returned home from a day of exploring the forest with Gisei to find the door had been forced open. Hey, what do you think that is? Naruto asked Gisei as they approached. I don't know, let's go check it out, Gisei replied. Both boys ran towards the house to see what was going on and came across a truly horrifying sight. Naruto's adoptive parents were tied up in the kitchen by 2 ninja who had kunai in each hand. Hey, what do you think you are doing? Leave them alone now. Naruto roared, charging the closest ninja, who moved out of the way quickly and yanked Naruto up into the air. Well, what do you know, they weren't alone after all, looks like they lied to us, the ninja holding Naruto said. What do you want? We haven't done anything to Kumo, let us go please, Minako pleaded. I'm sorry but we can't, we were hired to kill your entire family. So that's what we are going to do, the other ninja replied. Oh yeah, you won't get past me. Naruto yelled and held his hand in a cross-sealed Bushin no Jutsu. Naruto yelled. The sickly clone of Naruto appeared and collapsed on the floor, causing the ninja who was holding him to burst out in uncontrollable laughter. The other ninja, however, was staring at Naruto wide-eyed. There is SS seal on his stomach, he's a Jinchuriki. He stammered. What, this kid? Impossible, the ninja holding Naruto said. See for yourself, the seal on his stomach is so complex, far larger than Killer Bees or Yujitos, the other ninja said. The first ninja turned Naruto around in his grasp and stared at his stomach. Kami, you're right, we would get a massive bonus if we were able to deliver his kid to Reikage-sama. Agreed, stick a demonic yokai suppressor on him and tie him up, he is far too valuable to kill. The second ninja to speak. Fuck off, I am not going anywhere with you guys. Naruto yelled, struggling with all his might. But in the end that didn't help him, and he had a small piece of paper slapped to his forehead and his arms tied together before strapping him into a chair. While this was going on, Gisei was watching in horror. He had heard every word and knew that any minute they would kill his parents. I need to go get help in the village. There is bound to be someone who can help me there, Gisei thought, but his plan was stopped before it even began. Well, what do we have here? A little trying to escape, hey, came the voice of a third ninja. Gisei was kicked into the room forcefully at the same moment Naruto had awoken after having his demonic chakra sealed away. Leave him alone. Naruto yelled. Or what? You are just a pathetic brat, you can't even use your Bijuu, so you are no threat to us, the first Kumo ninja said. Let's just get this done, we need to get this kid back to Kumo as soon as possible, the ninja who appeared to be their leader said. They picked Gisei up and placed him with his parents, while they each pulled out a kunai so they could finish their mission. Naruto couldn't help and just sat helpless while the Kumo ninja approached his adoptive family. Nothing personal, it's just business, the leader said before ordering his men to end the lives of their targets. Blood poured from the necks of the family, and Naruto was forced to watch it occur before his eyes. No. Naruto cried, his eyes bulged from the tears that were falling. Then his eyes changed, his pupil shrank, and his eye began to change color from blue to a metallic purple. The whites of his eyes completely disappeared and left the eye completely purple. Finally, several rings appeared in a rippling pattern out from the center. They were done, now let's go and take the Kai. What the fuck is this? Look at the kid's eyes. I thought you sealed away his demonic chakra, one of the Kumo ninjas said. I did, what is that? The leader said. If it is, we are going to get an even bigger reward, the third said happily. Naruto could not hear what they were saying. All he could think about doing was getting revenge for what happened to the first family he had ever known. Shinra Tensei. Naruto yelled as if possessed with as much power as he could muster. In the closest bar. The perverted middle-aged man sat in a dark corner of a bar surrounded by women of questionable intelligence drinking sake and talking loudly about his adventures as the great Toad Sage when he felt a massive spike of chakra. What the hell was that? It could be trouble. I should go check it out, he thought. Sorry ladies, I would love to stay. But I have to go check something out and it could be dangerous, the man said. Oh, but Jiraiya-sama, you were going to tell us about how you taught the famous Yondaime Hokage everything he knew, one of the girls whined. Sorry ladies, but keep the table warm and I will be back later, Jiraiya informed the group. After leaving the tavern, Jiraiya jumped from tree to tree as fast as he could and eventually arrived at a large crater that he assumed was at one point in time a house. There was furniture thrown all over the area as if the explosion had originated from inside the house. What happened here? There are no signs of any specific type of what could have done this, the Toad Sage asked himself. Then he saw the young boy unconscious in the middle of the crater. As he approached, he had the strangest feeling that he had seen the boy somewhere before. He slowly approached but stopped as the boy began to stir. Hey kid, what happened here? Jiraiya asked tentatively. Naruto's head shot up defensively and he backed away from the Toad Sage the moment their eyes met. Jiraiya was far too shocked by the sight of the eyes to notice the 3 whisker marks on each cheek or the seal that had just faded from view from Naruto's stomach. The Rinnegan. Twice in one lifetime, I never thought I would see it again after I heard news of Nagato's death, Jiraiya thought. Are you with them? Naruto asked cautiously, deciding that Jiraiya did not look as dangerous as the other ninja that had attacked him. With who? Jiraiya replied. The people who killed my family, well, they weren't really my family. But they were the closest thing to one I have even known, Naruto said. No, I am not with them, what happened here? Jiraiya asked. I'm not sure. One minute I was in the kitchen, watching these 3 ninjas kill them, and then everything went black until I came back to consciousness with you standing there, Naruto explained. That sounds just like the story Nagato told me, but this is far more damage than he caused when he had awoken his, as Jiraiya thought. What's your name, kid? He asked. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto replied flatly. What? Jiraiya said, shocked. I said to Naruto Uzumaki, have you got a problem with that? Naruto said. Impossible, you can't be him, Jiraiya said, and he was just starting to take in the rest of his appearance. The spiky blonde hair and the 6 whisker marks. Why is that impossible? That is who I am, Naruto said, now getting annoyed by Jiraiya. How is this possible for you to have those eyes? You are supposed to be safe in Konoha, Jiraiya said. I was kidnapped from Konoha and dumped in the middle of one of the forests around a day's ride from here. As for your other question, I have no idea what you are talking about. My eyes are my own and always have been, Naruto said loudly. Impossible, when I saw you as a baby you had blue eyes, not the Rinnegan. Jiraiya said. Rinnegan? What's that? Naruto asked. You mean you don't know? Here look, Jiraiya said and summoned a mirror to hand to the blonde so he could examine his face. I don't know what you are up to, old man, but if this is some trick you will pay, Naruto said, unsure exactly how he would back up his claim as he looked into the mirror. Everything about his face was normal, apart from two unfamiliar orbs that gazed back at him. What the hell is this? My eyes are purple and creepy looking. Naruto yelled in shock. That is the Rinnegan, the most powerful Dojutsu known in the ninja world. Most people think it is nothing but a myth and would have never recognized it. But I am not just anyone. I am the Toad Charmer of Mayabakizan, one of the legendary 3 ninjas from Konoha. I am the gallant Jiraiya. The Toad Sage said. So basically I have special eyes and you are some famous ninja from Konoha. Naruto surmised. Well yeah, but it doesn't sound cool when you say it like that, Jiraiya said with a pout. Well, as I can't stay here anymore, can you help me get back to Konoha? I preferred living with my family, but with them gone and the house as well, Konoha is the only place I have left, Naruto said solemnly. You don't seem to be eager to return. Konoha is where you were brought up. Why wouldn't you want to go back? Jiraiya asked, but he already had a fairly good idea why. The people are mean. I have been here for less than 6 months, and I already feel like this place is more of a home than Konoha has ever been, Naruto said. Well then, why don't you come with me? I know a thing or two about those eyes of yours. Well, I am no expert, I can help you to use them along with other things. I can also teach you how to be a shinobi. What do you say? Jiraiya asked. For the first time in months the prospect of being a ninja returned to Naruto. Remembering the stories the old Hokage would tell him about how the great Hokages each saved the village and were loved by the people. Or about his own 3 students who each became famous ninja. Then finally he gave in to what the man was offering, a new chance to do all of that away from Konoha and with a famous ninja who could teach him a lot. Alright old man, the offer was accepted, Naruto said. You know, this might actually be fun. I haven't taught anyone since the Yondaime Hokage, Jiraiya said with a smile. You taught Yondaime? Naruto asked in wonder. Yeah, I taught him almost everything he knew, but you will have a lot of work to do if you want to get anywhere near his level, Jiraiya said. Okay, so what are you going to teach me first? Some cool, Naruto asked, showing his eagerness to learn. Wow, easy there, you need to learn the basics first. And don't you want to mourn your adoptive family for a while? Jiraiya asked. I do, but the best way I can do that is by becoming strong enough to prevent any of this from happening again, Naruto said. You know what, kid, I think I like you. But first let's head back to the land of fire. I have told an old man that I resign, Jiraiya said. Jiraiya's lessons for Naruto started straight away. While they walked, Jiraiya handed Naruto several scrolls and told him to read them. They were all different types of Taijutsu kata. It was strange to Naruto because it seemed that everything here would instantly make sense to him like he had known it for years. How are you going with those scrolls there, kid? Jiraiya asked. Good, I think I have got the hang of most of these, they're far easier than the academy style they tried to teach me back in Konoha, Naruto answered. That's good, we will be stopping for the night in a little while, I want you to show me what you have picked up, Jiraiya said. Alright, sure thing sensei, Naruto said, and he went back to studying the kata and performing what moves he could while they walked. Half an hour later they stopped and Jiraiya ran through several hand seals before summoning a giant toad. Wow, that's amazing. I wonder if I could do what Naruto said, and he started running through the same hand seals as though he had known them all his life. Wait, Naruto, don't you need to sign a contract? Jiraiya yelled, but it was too late and Naruto placed both palms on the ground. There was a huge puff of smoke and Jiraiya was expecting Naruto to be taken to whichever animal he had an affinity for like he did when he was young and tried the same thing. What shocked Jiraiya, however, was when the smoke cleared, Naruto was still there and there was also a toad that Jiraiya had never seen before. And it had the Rinnegan. Yeah, I did it, I summoned a toad, Naruto yelled happily. You sure did, but how? This isn't one of the toads of Mayabakizan, I have never seen it before, Jiraiya admitted as he looked at the toad, it seemed to have lost all expression, and the only way you could tell it was even alive was it was breathing. Interesting. I wonder, Naruto ordered the toad to do something. Jiraiya said. Like what? Naruto asked. Try something simple like jumping, Jiraiya suggested. Alright. Toad. Jump. Naruto ordered. The moment Naruto thought of the order, the toad started jumping in one spot. I think it responds to my thoughts. Here, watch this, Naruto said confidently. Stop and turn around, he thought. The toad compiles without questioning. Amazing, but can it do complex tasks? Ask it to go collect water we can use for our camp, Jiraiya said. Sure thing sensei, Naruto replied. Go collect enough water for the 2 of us to use tonight, Naruto ordered. Without showing any signs of understanding or confusion, the toad left. When it came back it looked like it was swollen with water and just sat there. I guess it works, but he didn't have anything to fill with water. I want you to dispel it by ordering it to leave, then try and summon something else, anything, Jiraiya ordered. Naruto complied and the toad dispelled, and this time Naruto summoned a large two-headed dog. So you can summon whatever animal you think of. What an amazing ability, you would be able to always summon the best animal for a certain role. I had no idea the Rinnegan could do this. I knew it had the ability to process information at an incredible rate and granted the user the ability to use all 5 forms of nature transformation. But this is something else, what other secrets do those eyes hold? Jiraiya said to himself mostly, but Naruto could easily hear him. Well, as awesome as this is, you were supposed to be teaching me, I want to show you all the taijutsu styles I have been able to pick up, Naruto said eagerly. Needless to say Jiraiya was impressed, but it just reinforced what he had seen before with Nagato. There was just something about the Rinnegan that aided in learning. After Naruto ran effortlessly through the kata, he paused as if in deep thought. Sensei, you said these eyes were really rare, right? Naruto asked. The rarest taijutsu there is, why do you ask? Jiraiya replied. Well, it's just that, well, most people may not know what they are, some people are bound to, and I really don't want people to think I am special just because I have these eyes. Is there any way to hide them? Naruto asked. Good question, I know that a simple henge won't work, Another person who had those eyes had the same problem. But I think I may know of someone who can help you out, her henge is a bit special, however I don't know how helpful she will be. I wouldn't worry too much about your eyes though, nobody will recognize them, most people just think that the Sage of Six Paths and the Rinnegan are just a myth, so they will just think you have strange purple eyes. And with me around nobody is going to try anything, because if they do by some chance know that you do indeed have the Rinnegan, they will almost certainly know who I am and know not to mess with the almighty Toad Sage, Jiraiya said. Alright, sensei, I do have one more question, did these eyes give the other person with them a second chakra source? Because I can feel one inside of me, Naruto asked. You can feel it? Tell me, what does the second chakra feel like? Jiraiya asked. If he can feel Kyuubi's chakra, that means I can't keep the fact that he is a secret, I will have to tell him, Jiraiya thought while he waited for Naruto's answer. Well, my normal chakra seems to flow and is calm, this other chakra is wild and uncontrollable, it almost feels evil. What's more, it seems to be coming from my stomach and nowhere else, Naruto explained. Well, I guess I better tell you then, Jiraiya sighed. Tell me what? Naruto asked. What do you know about the night that the Kyuubi attacked almost 9 years ago? Jiraiya decided to see what the child knew and then fill in the blanks and correct the lies. Well, I know that the Yondaime Hokage gave his life to kill the Kyuubi and save the village, Naruto answered. Well, that is not exactly true, you see Ibijuu is not really alive, so it cannot be killed, Jiraiya said. How can I not be alive? Naruto asked. Well, you see Ibijuu is a massive ball of chakra given to consciousness. Why the Kyuubi takes the form of a fox, I could not say. Anyway, the Yondaime Hokage could not kill the Kyuubi, so he did the next best thing. He sealed it away where it could not hurt anyone, Jiraiya said. No. It can't be, tell me you're lying. Naruto yelled, but the more he tried to deny it, the more it made sense, all the hate-filled glares, nobody allowing him to enter their shops, being kicked out of the orphanage at only 4 years old. Naruto, calm down, you are not the fox, you are Naruto Uzumaki, you said it yourself, you have 2 chakras, one that is yours that is calm, and one that is wild and uncontrollable, I think you will find that would be the Kyuubi's. And if you don't believe me, take off your shirt and channel some chakra through to your feet, Jiraiya explained. Naruto nodded and did as Jiraiya said. Channeling some chakra to his feet, the blonde looked down, and sure enough a large seal appeared on his stomach. That is the 8 trigram seal that was used to seal the Kyuubi away. Kyuubi lives inside of you, and in time I will help you control it, Jiraiya said. But why did they choose me? Did my parents just give me up as a sacrifice? Naruto asked, still distraught. Your parents would never have done that, I can't tell you how I know, but just believe me please, Jiraiya said. Alright sensei, but you have to teach me something awesome to make up for it, Naruto said. Alright, how about I teach you how to climb trees without using your hands, Jiraiya said, knowing that even mundane everyday ninja tasks would be impressive for an 8-year-old, even if that 8-year-old did hold 2 of the greatest powers the ninja world has ever known. That sounds awesome, I will have this down in no time, Naruto said, and eagerly awaited Jiraiya to show him what to do. Just like with the summoning and taijutsu kata, Naruto picked up tree walking in very little time. Amazing, it seems the Rinnegan grants the wielder greatly improved chakra control. I have never seen anyone pick up this stuff so easily, Jiraiya thought as he watched Naruto run up and down a tree like it was nothing. Okay Naruto, that is enough for today, Jiraiya said. Oh, I wanted to see how long I could keep it up, Naruto replied. No, you will need your strength for the trip tomorrow, we need to get to Konoha by nightfall, Jiraiya said. Why does night fall? Naruto asked. Because we don't want anyone to recognize you. If they find you, they will probably try and force you to return to Konoha for good, and once they recognize those eyes of yours, they will be even more protective of you. And there will be people who will stop at nothing to turn you into a weapon for the village, Jiraiya said. I don't get it, aren't you a Konoha shinobi? Naruto asked. Yeah, I am, and I love Konoha, it will always be my home, but I don't like what they have done to you, and if they find you I am sure you will be even more isolated and lonely than before, Jiraiya said. That would be difficult, I never had any friends when I lived in Konoha, everyone just avoided me, and the senseis at the academy were really mean, even the children in the academy treated me badly, always laughing at me because I was the dead last, Naruto said, clearly downhearted. Dead last, huh? Well, don't worry about that, with me as your sensei you will become a greater shinobi than any of them could ever dream of, Jiraiya said. Yeah, I have already been able to learn more with you as my sensei than I did all year in the academy, Naruto said. Well, that just goes to show how great of a teacher I am, Jiraiya said pompously. It also shows just how useful a tool those eyes of yours are, they may not copy like the Sharingan, but they seem to aid in learning, almost as much, Jiraiya thought as he set up a camp for himself and Naruto. The following day was rather uneventful, Jiraiya and Naruto sped across the countryside as quietly as possible, avoiding the roads so as not to be seen by shinobi that may be looking for either Jiraiya or the young blonde. It was just on the verge of darkness when Naruto and Jiraiya made it to the outskirts of the village. The monument was bathed in the burnt orange glow of the dying sunlight as the lights of the village began to flicker on. Okay kid, time for a quick lesson, I want you to channel chakra into your eyes and tell me what you see, Jiraiya said, stopping Naruto from moving any further forward towards the village. Okay sensei. Naruto said enthusiastically. Much to Naruto's surprise, a large barrier appeared that surrounded the village. Whoa, what is that? Naruto asked, his eyes widening in awe of the large barrier. That is one of Konoha's key defenses that keep any unwanted people from entering the village without raising an alarm. The moment we cross that barrier, a team of Anbu will know about it and inform the village rapid response teams. Who will come and investigate whether we are a threat or not, Jiraiya informed his young charge. But I thought you wanted to get in and out without anyone knowing about it, Naruto said, confused as to how they were going to continue. Right you are, that is why I am going to disable the seal for us to enter undercover, Jiraiya said. But won't they know something is wrong if the seal goes down in this area? Naruto questioned. No, because the only people who know how to disrupt this seal are the top Anbu captains of the village, the Hokage and myself. However, if I really wanted I could enter undetected without the need to disrupt the seal, but then again I am a spy master, Jiraiya explained. Jiraiya then went up to the large barrier and after performing several hand seals, Naruto saw the barrier fade back away from a small area around where Jiraiya was. Come on, we don't have all day, this barrier will close in a minute, Jiraiya informed the blonde who hurriedly followed after his new sensei. As Naruto followed Jiraiya through the village, he was amazed that the man could know the perfect way around without ever being seen. Do you have anything you want to get from your home, kid? Jiraiya asked as they slid out from a back alley into an abandoned street. Just some clothes, but most of them are not appropriate for a ninja to wear, Naruto confessed. Well, I don't think that matters, at least until we get away from the land of fire, you at least need a change of clothes, those are getting kinder rank if you ask me, Jiraiya said. Actually, now that I think about it, I have gone through a growth spurt in the past 6 months that I have been away from Konoha, I doubt any of my clothes will fit anymore, Naruto sighed. Oh well, looks like we will just have to get you something to wear later, there are a few stores outside of Konoha that sell ninja gear in the land of fire, although it won't be of the high quality that you can get here, Jiraiya said. It won't matter, I was never allowed into any of the good stores in the village anyway, they always kicked me out, all I could ever get was these bright orange jumpsuits, or I had to wear civilian clothes, Naruto explained. Is that so? I knew you would have had it bad being an all, but this is far worse than I imagined. Don't even let you buy proper equipment, Jiraiya said, shaking his head. Well, is there any place you used to go to be alone that nobody would think to look at? I just don't think it would be a good idea for you to come with me to see the Hokage. I don't think the old man is going to be happy when he finds out that I am leaving and won't be reporting back in for a while, and no doubt if he finds you with me, he will want you to stay in the village, Jiraiya said. Well, I was kinda hoping to see Gigi again, but I guess there is a park that I like that people rarely go to, mostly because I like it, Naruto said. How close is it to where we are here? Jiraiya asked. Real close, only about 2 blocks away, Naruto informed the Toad Sage. Perfect, I will drop you off there, then go to see the old man, Jiraiya said. Alright, sensei, can you tell the old man something for me? Naruto asked. I guess so, what is it? Jiraiya replied. Tell him that the person that kidnapped me from the village was one of those weird people with the wide eyes, Ku I think his name was. Oh, and tell him I said thank you for keeping me as safe as he could while I grew up here, and that I would never forget that, Naruto said, showing a maturity that was far past his years. I guess I could pass on that message, but that would mean basically telling the old man I know where you are. That might make for a difficult exit to the village, but hey, it might be fun, Jiraiya said with a warm smile. Cutting through several back streets, the pair soon arrived at the abandoned park. There weren't even any lights to light the area, which Jiraiya thought was perfect for the job they needed doing. Alright kid, I will be back before you know it, just try and not draw attention to yourself, and if anyone asks do not let them know who you are, Jiraiya said before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Aw man, I really wanna learn how to do that, Naruto thought as he marveled at the place his sensei had just vanished from. Hokage Tower. Hiruzen Sarutobi was not having the best of times, his paperwork was piling up and there seemed to be growing unrest in the Uchiha clan. To top it all off, all attempts at finding his spy master had failed. You look like you have seen better days, Sensei Jiraiya said from behind, causing several Anbu to appear out of nowhere and take up defensive positions around the old Hokage. Jiraiya-kun. I have been looking everywhere for you, Hiruzen said, signaling for his Anbu to leave them to speak in private. I know, your trackers are a pain to continuously avoid, Jiraiya said. Why were you avoiding them? The Sandaime asked. Well, if they found me so would Orochimaru, who was watching their every move. I needed to stay out of sight so he wouldn't know that I was following him, Jiraiya said. I see, and what of Orochimaru? What is my old student up to now? No good, I presume, Hiruzen asked. Orochimaru has joined the mercenary group known as the Akatsuki. All I know about them is they are a group of S-rank missing ninja and are growing. I ran into some of their handiwork when I was in the land of Earth last. But Tsuchikage hired the group to take out a small hidden village that was attempting to form inside the country. They didn't leave anyone alive, Jiraiya explained. I see an organization for missing ninja. Do you know anything of their final goals? Do they plan to start their own village, a safe haven for criminals? The aged Hokage questioned. I couldn't say, all I know is that nothing Orochimaru gets involved with is ever completely clean. Well, now that is out of the way, I have a question to ask you, Jiraiya said, changing his tone of voice from friendly to deadly serious. Yes, and what might that be? Hiruzen questioned. How could you lose to Naruto? I think I made it clear that he was supposed to be cared for and protected, Jiraiya said angrily. He was. I had one of my most loyal Anbu watching him, but the attacker knew when to strike, I believe, but can't prove that he was working with a member of the Uchiha clan who knew that Itachi would be Naruto's only guard on the night he was taken to Sarutobi said. Do you think that's enough? Do you have any idea where he could be right now? Think of what would happen if I got a hold of him. Not only is he Minato's son, but also the Kyuubi. Iwa would see this as the perfect opportunity to crush Konoha. And what about Kumo? They would turn him into their own personal weapon. Have you even tried to get him back? Jiraiya yelled. That's enough. Do not think for 1 second that I don't care about what happened to Naruto-kun. As we speak, Kakashi Haddock is still out looking for him. The old Hokage roared in retaliation to Jiraiya's accusation, a shadow of the old god of shinobi shining through as the power and presence of the Hokage filled the room. And what? Bring him back to a village that clearly doesn't want him, to a life of loneliness and isolation, where after this event, he will never be allowed out of the council's sight. I can already see those old team members of yours whining to turn the kid into a mindless killing machine for the village's use. That is something I will not allow. Jiraiya yelled back. What are you saying, Jiraiya? Hiruzen said, stunned by his old pupil's words. I'm saying that I found him, but he will not be returning to this village, nor will I have him become a ninja of this village, Jiraiya said. What are you saying? His father gave his life to preserve the balance between the villages, and you are going to tear it all apart just on a whim? Hiruzen asked. Minato also wanted his son to be seen as a hero. That was never honored, was it? When I met the boy, he had been adopted by a family in the land of forests, but they had just been killed by Kumo ninja. From what the boy told me, they were the first people other than yourself and a father and daughter that run a raiment store that had ever treated Naruto with any kindness. He felt more at home in the 6 months outside of the village than he ever did when he lived here. This is not the Konoha I love, the Konoha I fight for and work for. The population of this village is spitting on the memory of Minato with the way they treated his son, and I will not stand for it any longer. So I came here to tell you that I quit. I will not be working with Konoha, at least not until the kid is old enough to fend for himself. I will see that he becomes a ninja that will have the ability to change the world, Jiraiya stated. You quit? Please be reasonable about this, Jiraiya-kun. I already have Tsunade who refuses to return to the village. We can't afford to lose you as well, and we need your spy network to keep us ahead of any possible attacks on the village, Hiruzen said almost pleadingly. Don't get me wrong, sensei, I will still help Konoha at any chance I get and will send on any vital information I might receive, but I will not be taking on any missions or answering any summons until I feel the village has paid for what it has done to my godson, Jiraiya said. Very well, if there is no way to avoid this then I guess I have to accept, and I am pleased to hear that Naruto-kun is safe. Tell me, did he say who it was that kidnapped him? Hiruzen asked. As a matter of fact he did, he said it was a member of the Hyuga clan, Ku or something like that. So I don't think he would be working with the Uchiha clan, they have never been on the best of terms with the Hyuga after all, Jiraiya said. I see, thank you for this information, I can promise you the perpetrator will be harshly punished. Did Naruto-kun say anything else? The aged Hokage said. Yeah, he asked me to tell you thank you for keeping him as safe as you could while he lived here and he would never forget that. Anyway, I think it is time I was leaving, till next time, Sensei, Jiraiya said, and with one final wave dissolved into the wooden wall completely out of sight. But Naruto turned around after a while of staring at the area that Jiraiya had just sunshine away from and began to look around. I wonder how long he is going to be, this place might be empty, but it sure can be creepy at night, Naruto thought as he looked around squinting to see in the dark. Still having a hard time seeing, Naruto decided to try something in an attempt to aid his sight and channeled some chakra into his eyes. The effects were instantaneous. While there was no night vision, they did allow his eyes to focus and become adjusted to what little natural light there was. Well, that's not as cool as being able to see the massive barrier or being able to summon any animal I want, but it is still kinda useful. But now that I think about it, I would say most eyes could do this if they channeled chakra into them, Naruto theorized. It was at that moment Naruto's senses were bombarded again, although not by a sight, this time it was a sound, the unmistakable sound of a girl crying. What is that? Maybe I should check it out. But sensei told me not to draw attention to myself and try to avoid being seen, oh what do I do? Naruto thought as he was fighting an internal struggle to decide whether or not he should investigate. In the end, Naruto's curiosity got the better of him and he slowly approached the area that the sound was coming from. Hiding in a nearby tree, Naruto peered out to see a young girl with short hair crying under a different tree. I can't approach her, she doesn't look in any danger, so I should just go, Naruto thought and began to back away, keeping himself well hidden from view. Unfortunately, he stepped on a weak branch that snapped under his feet and he almost fell from the tree. Shit, she will know someone is here for sure, I need to make sure I don't move at all for a while, Naruto thought as he deliberately froze in place. The young girl had noticed the branch break from the tree and knew right away that there was someone watching her. Who's there? She stammered, seeming almost scared that she was caught. Naruto didn't reply, he just remained as still and silent as humanly possible. Come out, IKK, now that you're out there, the young girl stammered again shakily. Once more Naruto refused to reply and closed his eyes, as if to beg for the young girl to drop her investigations. He had no such luck. Very well, if you won't come out, then I guess I will just have to find you myself. Bye, Akugan. She said. What did she just do? Can she sense people? Was that a Naruto thought frantically while still not moving. I can see you in the tree. Wait. Nah, Naruto KK-kun. Is that why you, the girl stammered worse than ever. Fuck. Not only seen, but recognized, I guess I have to go talk to her and tell her that I am not me, Naruto thought before dropping from the tree. Aha, I think you have mistaken me for someone else, Naruto said, although as convincingly as he could muster. No, you are Naruto-kun, I am sure of it, I know what your chakra looks like. The young Hyuga said, and even in the moonlight it was clear she was going red. You know what my chakra looks like? What does that mean? Naruto asked, completely shocked. Well, you have several points of red chakra on your stomach that I have only ever seen on Naruto-kun, so you must be him, beside you look just like him, so you are not fooling me. The Hyuga continued, getting even redder at what seemed like disbelief that she had just said that to Naruto. Well, I guess I can't hide it now. You're Hinata Hyuga from the academy, aren't you? Naruto asked, hoping to get the conversation off of him. This time Hinata's nerves seemed to have left her and she was only able to nod. But then something new about Naruto's appearance caught her eye, not the fact that he was almost a head taller than the last time she saw him on the day of his abduction or the muscle tone he put on. Although she had noticed these things, no, she had only just realized that his usual blue eyes were gone, she hadn't noticed before, the light had been too bad to make out any detail of color, but the flicker of a streetlight made the changes glaringly obvious. Your eyes? What happened? Hinata blurted out uncontrollably, she couldn't help herself. She knew this was Naruto, of that she was certain, his voice, his chakra, everything was Naruto. But these eyes were not the warm inviting blue that she remembered, the cold metallic purple of the Rinnegan, shocked the young Hyuga heiress. I sorta underwent a change, and I guess my eyes changed color, Naruto said offhandedly, trying to make the new appearance nothing special. Is that why you haven't been at the academy in months? Will you be returning now? Hinata asked hopefully. No, I was kidnapped from the village, and I am only back now because my sensei is here to see Jiji Hokage, Naruto said. So you are leaving again? When will you be back? Hinata asked sadly. I don't know, in truth I don't know if I will ever come back, this place holds quite a few bad memories for me, Naruto answered. But why? Isn't your home? The young Hyuga asked. It was, but not anymore. I want to make a new life, and I met someone who has promised to help me and train me to be a great shinobi, Naruto said. But what about everyone at the academy and your friends? Hinata asked. You have seen me at the academy, the person who is remotely friendly towards me is Shikamaru. During my time out of the village I made a friend, he became like a brother to me, but he died, and I promised myself I would become strong and never let that happen to anyone I cared for ever again. And with my new sensei, I believe I can make that dream come true, Naruto said, remembering all the things Jiraiya had taught him in such a short space of time. I will miss you, your confidence when you were at the academy inspired me to try and show that I can improve despite my family calling me a failure. You always kept trying no matter how many times you failed. I know it doesn't mean much, but thank you and good luck, Hinata said, still blushing like mad. Heh. Thanks, I really didn't think anyone had noticed me at all. It's a good feeling to have someone say that. So I wish you luck, and if you keep trying I have no doubt you will show your family that you are not a failure. Oh, and before I go, please promise me you will not tell anyone that you saw me. The fact that I am here is supposed to be a secret, so it would mean a lot if you kept this little chat to yourself, Naruto said. Oh okay, I promise, Naruto-kun. I will never tell anyone, Hinata promised. It was at that moment Jiraiya arrived, landing on a tree branch behind the blonde. Hey, I thought I told you not to be seen or talk to anyone, Jiraiya said, but he did not seem to be angry. Sorry sensei, I was kinda caught hiding, Naruto admitted. Well, I guess it is kinda hard to hide from a Hyuga, and I am sure even more difficult to hide from the heir of the clan, Jiraiya said. I'm sorry, I promise not to tell anyone I saw either of you, Hinata said with a respectful bow. That would be really helpful, we gotta get out of here, kid, the old man probably won't leave us alone for too long, and once his advisors find out about it, well, let's just say it would be better if we were outside of the land of fire by the time that happens, Jiraiya said. Okay sensei, let's go. Goodbye, Hinata, Naruto said, and with one final wave Naruto was gone. And it would be the last the village hidden in the leaves, Sar heard of the young for quite some time. It had been 1.5 years since Jiraiya had left the village along with Naruto. And while things on the surface seemed to be fine, the village was actually in complete turmoil. Hiruzen's most trusted Anbu commander had retired from Anbu and just become an everyday jounin, and much to the ire of the aged Hokage, said former Anbu captain Kakashi Haddock, had become even less reliable to show up on time than ever before. That was however the least of Hiruzen Sarutobi's troubles. Over the last few years relations between the Uchiha clan and the rest of the village had deteriorated, Konoha was on the verge of civil war and negotiations were going nowhere. Hiruzen knew that he had to act before it was too late, but the only option that was left to him seemed far too extreme. Unfortunately, the longer the talks went on while going nowhere, the more obvious it became that they would have to go through with the plan that was put forward by his longtime rival and advisor Shimura Danzo. His solution was to wipe out the entire Uchiha clan before they caused any lasting damage to the village. The Hokage had at first completely dismissed the idea as impossible and refused to even consider it, however his agent he had inside the clan spying on them only brought grave news. Itachi Uchiha loved his family, but he loved Konoha even more. His loyalty lay not with his father and the Uchiha clan like they believed, but with the Hokage. So when talk of a coup d'etat intensified, Itachi went straight to the Hokage. Arriving at the Hokage's door, Itachi knocked twice and entered soon after receiving the call to enter from his leader. Itachi-kun, please tell me you have some good news for me. The Hokage said hopefully. I'm sorry Hokage-sama, but no I don't, my family are more determined than ever, I can see no way of this ending without bloodshed. I have to throw my support behind Danzo's plan, Itachi said solemnly. You know what that would mean, don't you? Hiruzen asked, sadness soaked in his voice. Yes, I am aware of what will happen, I will take on the task myself, I cannot let the burden fall to anyone else. But there are those within the clan that still love Konoha as it is, my friend Shisui for one, Itachi said. I am aware of this, it is why I am so opposed to the idea, we can't let there be a single strand to trace this back to the Hokage's office, otherwise it will have the same effect as the coup d'etat, and the village will fall into a civil war with all of the clans looking for power regardless. If they think we simply wiped out the clan because I thought they were becoming too powerful or simply a pain in the ass, the others will rebel in fear that they might be next, Hiruzen explained. So in other words, they all have to die, Itachi surmised. As much as I hate to say it, if we do go through with this then yes, they must all die, and we can play you off as being away from the clan on the night, and thus the sole survivor Hiruzen said. What if I took the blame, but left someone else alive? I could leave the village and become a missing ninja, Itachi said as a thought crossed his mind. But Itachi-kun, that is insane, you will be hunted by bounty hunters and hunter nin from all over the world and even Konoha, you would be damning yourself to a life on the run, and I wouldn't even be able to help you any more than giving you a head start. The Hokage said in shock. I know, but I don't care, it is the only way I can live with what I will have to do, Itachi said. Very well, who is it that you want to save? Hiruzen asked. My little brother Sasuke, he is innocent and I can't bring myself to kill him, he means too much to me, Itachi replied. I see, well then I accept your plan, you may go about executing it in any way you see fit, but I have one last thing I can offer you. Find my apprentice Jiraiya, he is traveling with someone you know quite well. When you find him, give him this message, he will be able to keep you far safer than if you were alone, he is not currently registered as a shinobi of Konoha, so helping you will not constitute treason, the old Sarutobi explained. That is a very good idea Hokage-sama, I believe I will take you up on that offer, Itachi said, taking the letter from Hiruzen with a bow. Oh, and Itachi, one last thing the Hokage said, stopping the young Uchiha before he could leave. Yes, Hokage-sama? Itachi asked. Good luck, and I am so sorry, the Hokage replied. Thank you Hiruzen-sama, Itachi said before slipping out of the room like he was never even there. Kami, I am getting too old for this, and the only two people who I would even consider to take up the role of Hokage will not return to the village. Oh Tsunadeheim, can't you see you are perfect for this job? If only you didn't blame the village or the position of Hokage for your terrible losses, Hiruzen thought as he picked up his pipe from the desk and lit up. Academy. Life at the academy had not changed, the class still seemed to have a dope, a role which had been passed on to Shikamaru after Naruto had left, and the top of the class which had always been one Sasuke Uchiha. The only real change in the past year had been the emergence of Hinata Hyuga as the top-ranked kunoichi who excelled at almost every level and was only beaten by Sasuke in the kunai and shuriken skills, and Taijutsu, and Sakura Haruno in the theory. In fact, the class had moved on so smoothly that they had all forgotten about the blonde-haired whisker-marked troublemaker that used to terrorize the village and classroom with his antics at any chance he got. Very good class, as you know it is customary to allow a young ninja or kunoichi to attempt the graduation exams once they reach the age of 10, as most of you have made it to that age. Now I would like to ask if any of you would like to attempt the exams in a little over a week's time. The head teacher Iruka asked the class. Several cocky-looking children from civilian families who had parents on the civilian council raised their hands and went to collective form. Is that all? I would have thought you would be attempting the exam Sasuke, and you too Hinata, you both have enough skill to pass the exam Iruka said. No, my brother said that the best way to be prepared and get stronger is to stay in the academy and learn as much as I can to make sure that I am ready for what I might face in the real world. I could graduate now, but I might hold my team back and that could get us all killed, Sasuke said. I too do not wish to take the exam for similar reasons, Hinata said in her typical shy fashion. Very well, and Sasuke, that is a very mature way to look at things, make sure you listen to your brother in the future, he is after all the biggest genius to come out of Konoha since the Yondaime Hokage, and the Sannin Iruka said. Yeah, but one day I am going to become even greater than he is. I might not do it right away, because he is really strong, but you just wait, they will be calling me the genius of the Uchiha clan in no time at all. Sasuke said confidently, causing a large section of the girls in the class to swoon over the Uchiha. Well, if you work hard enough I have no doubt that you will. And working hard here is the best place to start. That is a lesson for all of you, you need to work hard for your dreams to come true, Iruka said. Working hard is just too troublesome. Shikamaru mumbled before snoring, indicating that he was asleep the whole time. I'm sorry Shikamaru, next time I will say people who don't dream about sleeping all day and watching clouds need to work hard. Iruka yelled using his big head jutsu, successfully waking the sleeping Nara. Troublesome was all Shikamaru said in response before laying his head back onto the desk. Land of swamps. Naruto was standing in a battle-ready stance, waiting for an attack he knew could come at any moment or from any direction. Finally he heard the yell of Eidoten. Earth Dragon Bullet. Came a voice from seemingly all around Naruto, and he quickly saw to his left a large dragon head made of mud was opening its mouth before firing a large chunk of mud at the young blonde. Brain. Electromagnetic murder, Naruto yelled, sending what looked like a massive web of lightning rushing forward, annihilating the mud dragon. Pain. Flame bullet, the voice yelled again. Shinra Tensei. Naruto yelled and the flames seemed to die out. I thought I told you not to use that in this exercise. You are supposed to be countering my moves with the correct nature manipulation. Using your gravity is cheating, the voice said, and Jiraiya seemed to rise up from the swamp completely clean. Sorry sensei, I still don't have the hang of Suiton completely. I can use it alright, but I was unsure of what to use, and then I sorta panicked when Naruto admitted, lowering his head. That's alright, after all that is what this exercise is for. If you can fight without using any of your special powers gifted to you by those eyes of yours, other than the basic elemental manipulation and increased chakra control, when you get into a real fight, you will be that much stronger, Jiraiya said. Yes sensei, I understand. I think I need to practice the Suiton you gave me more though, Naruto admitted. Well, we can get to work later, let's find a place to rest, the old toad sage suggested and beckoned Naruto to follow him. Why are we in the land of swamps anyway sensei, it stinks here, Naruto complained. I'm following someone and I don't want them to get away, Jiraiya said. You mean that weird pale old teammate of yours that you had me hide from? Naruto asked. Yes, and the last thing we need is for him to get a glimpse of those eyes of yours. There is no telling what he would do if he figured out what they were, Jiraiya said. I still don't understand why we are following him. Every time you get close enough to have an encounter nothing happens. I mean, you don't fight him and you don't like him, so what's the point? Naruto asked. I am doing this for my sensei, the Hokage, Orochimaru, and I used to be his students, and now he is a traitor to Konoha, so I am keeping tabs on him. Also, it is best that we keep on the move. We don't want to run into any leaf shinobi and have them recognize you after all, Jiraiya said. Fine, let's just keep going, the sooner we get out of this swamp the better, Naruto mumbled. Konoha, morning before the Uchiha massacre. Several disappearances had occurred in the past few days, first of all Shisui Uchiha, and then after that several key members of the Uchiha clan all vanished mysteriously. The clan head Fugaku Uchiha and father to Itachi and Sasuke thought it may have something to do with the Hokage suspecting something and therefore taking out his top men. Itachi walked into the kitchen in the morning with his Anbu mask all ready for the task that lay ahead of him. Itachi, can you help me with my katen after class today? Sasuke asked eagerly when he saw Itachi enter the room. I'm sorry little brother, I won't finish until late. Why don't you just practice hard in one of the training grounds? Hopefully I can make it there before it gets too dark, Itachi said, knowing he would never be able to show up. You are supposed to be an Uchiha, you should be helping your brother, not playing the role of a pawn for that old fool, Hiruzen Fugaku said. Fool or not, it is my father's job. Sasuke should use this as a chance to work hard to learn what he needs, Itachi said. I don't know where you went wrong, boy, such a talented member of this clan, and you cling to these pathetic ideals. You will see, when we run this village Uchiha will be given the respect we deserve, Fugaku stated arrogantly. Respect is earned by the father, every member of this village earns their own respect. It is not something that can be forced, Itachi said. You won't change, will you? Come Sasuke, after breakfast I will help you with your ninja skills. You can still be a ninja, this clan can be proud of you, Fugaku said as he watched Itachi leave and gave a smirk when he saw the young Anbu pause, indicating that he heard what his father had said. A day of work passed uneventfully for Itachi, and just as the sun was setting he knew he needed to act, but first he wanted to make sure Sasuke was out of the way. Itachi found his younger brother walking home. I need more time, I will have to use it to get him to take the long way home, Itachi thought, and from the shadows activated his Sharingan. Sasuke seemed to instantly change direction and walk away from the Uchiha compound. That should do it. I will have about an hour, that should be enough. I will just have to be stealthy, Itachi thought as he jumped away and ran over rooftops up to the edge of the Uchiha compound. His first target were the guards who watched for anything suspicious. He waited until they were alone and out of sight before making his move. A shadow clone would take out one while he took out the other, both using the guards' own weapons. After that he knew he had already killed most of the higher-ranking Uchiha ninja, the last one left was his father, and that kill would have to wait until last. Hello, came a voice from behind Itachi. What the? Who are you? Itachi asked. Oh, I am nobody that is overly important, I just came to offer you my help. I know what you are planning after all, the man who wore an orange spiral mask said. You got behind me without me ever sensing you. You are indeed skilled, but why would you want to help me if you know what I am doing? Itachi said. Well, let's just say, Konoha was not the first thing that this clan has betrayed, the masked man said, taking off his mask and activating his Mangekyo Sharingan. Mangekyo Sharingan, who are you? Itachi said, not believing his eyes and activating his own set of upgraded Sharingan. It seems I am not the only one with these eyes, you could be useful to me, why not join me after we take out this clan, the man asked. As tempting as that may be, I have some place I need to go and information I need to deliver to someone, so I am going to turn your offer down, I'm afraid, Itachi said. Oh, very well, but word of advice, keep at least one Uchiha alive, you may need their eyes later. The Mangekyo Sharingan has the downside of blinding its users, but after you get a new set of eyes, it will never be a problem again, the masked man said. The only person who could know something like that is Madara. Itachi said in shocked realization. Well, I might be him, then again I may not, I guess you will never know. Now are you going to sit around all day, or are we going to pass judgment on this traitorous clan, the masked man said, and warped away in a spiral of rippling air. Itachi was certainly confused, but when he heard a scream that seemed to die away, he knew that the slaughter had already begun, and either way the Uchiha clan would be all but wiped out that night. Elsewhere in the village that Itachi had placed on his younger brother had just worn off, and Sasuke seemed to come to his senses, not knowing why he was currently walking down the main street of the village, now quite a long way from his clan compound. Oh man, I'm so late. Mother and father will probably be wondering where I am. I need to get home, Sasuke said out loud and turned around before running as fast as he could towards the Uchiha sector. It had taken quite a while, but once the young Uchiha saw the Konoha police department he knew he was getting close to home. The large entrance to the Uchiha compound came into view, and the fan symbol of the Uchiha clan became visible. Sasuke stopped running, not wanting to look like he was worried in front of the guards. But then Sasuke noticed something odd. The guards were not at their post, and the compound was silent. That's weird, was there a clan meeting or something? Sasuke thought as he entered the compound only to realize that all the lights were out. And only the light of the full moon shone down to reveal several large lumps in the middle of the road. Sasuke was intrigued and went to investigate what they were, but in the end to his horror, he saw the dead body of a member of the Uchiha clan. He checked another, this time it was a Kunoichi that worked in the police department. Now that Sasuke's eyes were getting accustomed to the dark, he could see what was surrounding him. Everywhere he saw more dead bodies. Most looked like they had been killed by a blade, but some seemed to have been burned to a crisp by a kaiten. Wow. What's going on? Sasuke thought out loud as he ran through the streets towards his home, only to find more and more bodies lying on the ground dead. Finally the young Uchiha came to his house, and this time he finally saw a living Uchiha. The calm, cool and collected face of his brother appeared from the house. Hello Sasuke, Itachi said flatly with no warmth in his voice at all. Itachi? What happened here? Sasuke said with tears forming in his eyes. I will show you. Itachi said, and his eyes morphed into a three-pointed pinwheel and began to spin. Tsukiyomi, Itachi said, and Sasuke's world faded, and he soon found himself watching a horrifying scene of Itachi killing his mother and father, and then he saw him cut through the rest of the clan. Sasuke's world returned to normal, but he simply collapsed onto his knees, as though he too had been fatally wounded. Why? Sasuke cried, tears now flowing uncontrollably down his face. Oh, it's simple really. I wanted to test myself, to become stronger, and I wanted to gain more power. All that is left is you, although now that I see you, I see no purpose in killing you. You are too weak, so grow up and learn to hate me, and then one day when you have eyes like mine, come and find me. Maybe then you will be worth my time, Itachi said, and he turned around just as a tear fell from his eyes that he hoped Sasuke did not see. I need to get out of the village. Hokage-sama said he could buy me some time, but that doesn't mean I can take my time. And besides, I have to go find Jiraiya-sama and give him this letter, Itachi thought, and jumped up in order to leave the village as quickly as possible, only pausing for a small moment in order to give one last look at the village that he loved before leaving it forever. Land of Swamps, several days later. Naruto and Jiraiya were finally leaving the Land of Swamps after collecting some information on Orochimaru and the Akatsuki. Well, looks like we can have some time to relax now, kid. Where do you want to go? Jiraiya asked. Preferably somewhere that doesn't have a massive area of land that smells like foot, Naruto said, covering his nose as they walked through another swamp. Yeah, I would say you would prefer some place dry as well. How about we try the Land of Stars? That place is usually pretty good this time of year, Jiraiya said. Sure, sounds good. Wait, there is someone watching us, I can feel it, Naruto said. Really? Jiraiya said, but decided to trust his young pupil. You have quite a skilled student. Jiraiya-sama came from behind a tree and Itachi made his way into view. Itachi Uchiha, what do you want? I thought I told the old man I wasn't going back to the village, and I am certainly not giving them Naruto. Jiraiya said. Naruto? Itachi asked, confused, then he got a better look at the young man that was standing next to Jiraiya. He had his eyes shut, but that didn't matter, the blonde hair and the whisker marks gave it away. That is, Naruto-kun. I thought he had died or had been sold to one of the other villages. But that is not why I am here. Itachi said, a hint of shock and relief in his voice. If that isn't why you are here, then what is? Jiraiya asked. I have a letter from Hokage-sama that should explain everything, Itachi said, handing over the letter for Jiraiya to read. Once Jiraiya had finished with the letter, he burned it. So, you are on the run then. And did any survive? Jiraiya asked. Yes, just one, my younger brother Sasuke, Itachi answered. So, everything went according to plan then, Jiraiya said. More or less, Itachi agreed. Excuse me, do you want to tell me what is going on? Naruto said, still with his eyes closed. Itachi here is going to be joining us for the foreseeable future, I guess that means you can open your eyes, Jiraiya said. When Itachi saw the ripple pattern and metallic purple that Naruto's eyes had become, his own eyes widened. He had, after all, read the ancient tablet hidden under the Uchiha compound. Impossible. That's that. The Rinnegan, Jiraiya answered. How is it that Naruto-kun has that? Itachi asked. I'm not sure, neither of us are. But ever since I saw it I have been training him to use it, he is already a rather gifted ninja, if I do say so myself, Jiraiya said. I see, I think I might actually enjoy being part of this little group. I would also like to train Naruto-kun, if you would allow it of course, Itachi said. Why not, I'm sure you understand Jujutsu far better than I do, but enough of this, let's get a move on, it's wet and smells of mud and dead animals that have been trapped here, Jiraiya said. So now I have two senseis. Can you teach me some suitin? Jiraiya sensei is horrible at them and only knows a few, Naruto asked. I know a couple, but I am predominantly a Kaiten type, still I am sure I can help you out, Itachi said, and the three ninja left ready to continue their journey. 2 years had passed since the Uchiha massacre, and Sasuke had spent every second of his life that he was not training or in the academy, fantasizing about the day he finally killed Itachi. And today was no exception despite how important the day was. Today was the day he was given his genin team. The crosstown in the Hokage Tower Hiruzen Sarutobi was in a council meeting along with a ninja who would be acting as the senseis the following year. Now, I think you know why you are all here. We have to decide on the team placement for this year's genin. The normal way of choosing Team 7, which has been so successful in the past providing us with such ninja as my own 3 pupils, Yondaime and Kakashi Haddock, was to take the top-ranked ninja and Kunoichi, along with the bottom of the class. This has been used the past 4 years, but as you know Kakashi Haddock has failed to pass any of the teams he has been given, the Hokage said. He probably just didn't want to do it, I don't know why you would pick such an unreliable ninja to be a sensei, he has become more and more difficult ever since that. That thing left the village, one of the civilian council members said, who had in the past had run-ins with the copy ninja about the treatment of a certain former resident of Konoha. Yes, and I am sure it is because of people like you that Naruto has left the village and not returned, Kakashi said flatly. I wish I could take the credit, I have sent enough money to Hyuga's family to almost pay for their seals to be removed. The councillor chuckled, ignoring the looks of disgust on the faces of the clan heads and the Hokage. We are getting off topic, if we are to follow Team 7 tradition, then it will be the team of Sasuke Uchiha, who was the top ranking among the boys, and Rookie of the Year. There was a round of applause from the civilian side of the council room. Yes, thank you. Anyway, the top-ranking Kunoichi was Hinata Hyuga, who finished in 3rd overall behind Sasuke and Shino Abiram. And last in the class was Shikamaru Nara. However, upon looking at young Shikamaru's grades I found something interesting. He only ever answered half the questions and hit the exact amount of points, so he would pass and nothing more. I believe him to be far more skilled than he lets on. However, that would be Team 7. I am sure there will be some objections. There always is, after all, here is inside. Yes, Hokage-sama, we requested back when they started the academy that Inochoji and Shikamaru were placed in the same team. Inoichi spoke up and his statement was greeted with agreeing nods from Choza and Shikaku. Yes, I agree that it would be a formidable team and it has the balance that we know works, I am inclined to agree, but then who do I fill the final place in Team 7 with? Hiruzen asked. As if on cue, a pink-haired woman stood up and the ninja counselors ready to block their ears in case she started screeching like she had so many times in the past. My daughter Sakura should be placed with the Uchiha. The pink-haired Sakebi Haruno screeched, causing the people in her direct vicinity to wince from the pain that their ears had to endure. That may actually work, Sakura's ninja skills were the lowest, but she scored the highest in terms of book smarts and chakra control, which could lead her to becoming a talented support ninja. And with Sasuke being a close to mid-range fighter and Hinata being a close-range fighter, that leads to a balanced team, despite a break from the usual one Kunoichi per group rule. The final team will be a hunting and tracking team and will be Shino Abiram, Kiba Inuzuka and Sai Hiruzen. There were no more objections, and the Hokage was able to send the full list of teams to the academy for the head teacher Iruka. Several hours later, all the teams had left the academy, well, that was all except for Team 7. Where is our sensei? Sakura whined. I am sure there will be a good reason that he is late, they are all supposed to be after all, so they are among the top ninja in the village, Hinata said. Several hours later, the silver-haired one-eyed copy ninja casually strolled in. You're late. Sakura screeched, causing Kakashi to wince. I really hope she would not be like her mother. I guess I can't be that lucky. This might be tough. Ugh, sorry about that. I got lost on the road of life. Anyway, meet me on the roof in 5 minutes, Kakashi said before disappearing in a puff of smoke. Lost on the road of life. Oh, why couldn't I have Kurenai as my sensei? Hinata thought as she followed after Sasuke and Sakura. The 3 fresh genin made it to the roof to find Kakashi casually leaning against the railing. So, take a seat and tell me a little about yourself, your likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams for the future, the copy ninja said. Why don't you go first, Kakashi-sensei, so we know what to do, Sakura asked. I thought it was a simple question, how could they not know what to do? Kakashi thought. Alright, here goes. I like things and I dislike things as well. As for my dreams for the future, well, I don't feel like telling you, he said. He didn't really tell us anything other than his name. All 3 of the young genin thought. Okay, you're up, Kakashi said. Alright, my name is Sakura Haruno, I like it. She looked at Sasuke and blushed but said nothing. I mean, the person I like is the one I like. Again she did nothing but blush. As for my dream for the future, again, nothing but Sakura blushing redder than ever before. Illusional much, Kakashi thought, struggling not to mock the pink-haired Kunoichi. Okay, pale eyes, you're next, he said. My name is Hinata Hyuga, I like cinnamon buns, and my hobby is pressing flowers. I dislike crab and shrimp. As for my dream for the future, I want to bring the 2 branches of the Hyuga clan together under one roof as equals, and I need to say thank you to someone who inspired me to prove that I could better myself, and that I didn't need to be the weakling loser everyone thought me to be, Hinata said. Why is that last part a dream? I mean, just go tell them, it's not like that is difficult to do, Sakura said. Kakashi narrowed his eyes disapprovingly at this. Sakura had no right to say anything about another person's dream, and even worse when they are supposed to be team members. I can't tell him because he doesn't live in the village anymore. He left the village to train with a tall man with long white spiky hair. Hinata said angrily that Sakura would say that about her dream. Then she realized she had just broken the promise she made to Naruto and Jiraiya, never to tell anyone about seeing them. Long white spiky hair and tall. That could only be Jiraiya-sama, because he left the village for good after he found out about Naruto's disappearance, and he certainly didn't take anyone from the village with him, Kakashi thought, looking for an answer, but deciding to drop the issue. Okay, last of all the brooder, you're up, Kakashi said. I have no real likes, but I don't see that it matters much because I hate lots of things. I have no dream for the future, what I have is more than that, it is a need, a desire, I will rebuild my clan, and I need to kill a certain man, Sasuke said darkly. Hinata was a little taken aback by Sasuke's goals, but accepted that was just who he was, while Sakura just seemed to swoon over the cool and dark Uchiha. So he wants to kill Itachi, huh? Well, good luck with that, kid. He was considered the biggest genius in the Uchiha clan since Madara. As for the group as a whole, I have a fangirl, a shy princess and a brooder with a dangerous goal. I sorta wish I passed the team last year now. Especially with the council on my back to pass this team, Kakashi thought. Now that that's done, I want you all to meet me at Training Ground 3 tomorrow at 7. Oh, and don't eat breakfast, you will just throw up, Kakashi said, and without further thought disappeared in a swirl of leaves. Land of Hills. 2 ninja wearing white hooded cloaks were entering a small town. This sucks. All we have been doing for the past year is mission after mission. Mercenary life is not as fun as I thought it would be, the shorter ninja complained. Well, Naruto-kun, you could always return to Konoha. I am sure the Hokage would welcome you back with open arms, the taller one said. Yeah, Gigi might, but everyone else might have a different point of view, you know better than anyone, you used to watch me after all, Naruto said. Yes, you might be right, it is mostly my fault we have to keep moving, despite how secure some of our hidden bases are we do not want to run into any hunter ninja, I would like to avoid any unnecessary bloodshed, the taller of the pair said. That's fine, Itachi-sensei. I don't blame you. Do you know why Jiraiya-sensei called us here? I thought he was busy working on one of his horrible books, Naruto asked to take his hood off to reveal the spiky blonde hair that was now shoulder length. No, I do not know why Jiraiya-sama sent the toad to tell us to meet him here, but I am guessing it is important, Itachi said, removing his own hood, showing that he no longer kept his hair in a ponytail and instead let his hair fall naturally flat, falling about halfway down his neck. If this is just some call to read a couple of chapters of his book and tell him what we think, I will be pissed at. We finally get to visit a tourist destination and he sends us a toad, Naruto whined. I'm sure it won't be something that simple, Itachi said. The 2 village-less ninja walked through the streets of the town looking for the location that Jiraiya said to meet them. It was not surprising that when they found the name of the meeting location, that it was a rather questionable tavern where the waitresses seemed to have more fabric on their shoes than the rest of their bodies. This must be the place, Naruto sighed as he went to enter. Unsurprisingly, the bouncer stopped Naruto from entering. Hey Itachi, little help? Naruto asked. "With pleasure, Naruto-kun," Itachi replied, activating his Sharingan and cast on the bouncer to allow the pair to enter. Looking around, they saw that this bar was a very dark place, the sort of place that you would go if you didn't want to be seen. You have to hand it to Jiraiya-sama, he may pick some perverted locations, but his choice is in fact genius, in that you could have an important conversation and pass on information here without anyone knowing, Itachi said. "Yeah, you're right, but let's just find him before the patrons start to flip because I am underage," Naruto said. They found the toad hermit in a back corner being fed by two women with amazingly large breasts. When they arrived, the pair sat down at the same table. Upon seeing Naruto, the two ladies stood up and went straight to the bar, looking to complain about them allowing an underage kid to enter the tavern. "Damn it, couldn't you have put on a henge or something, now you are going to get us all kicked out." Jiraiya whined as he watched the ladies talk to what appeared to be the owner. "Think of it as punishment for taking away my time off," Naruto complained. "Damn kid, anyway, as we may not have much time, I will get to the point. As you know, there has been a civil war in the Land of Water for a few years now," Jiraiya said. "Yes, the Mizukage is attempting to take out and annihilate every clan with a bloodline from the country," Itachi said. "Exactly, anyway, I have found the location of the Resistance HQ, but they will not trust any outsiders. That is why if we want to help them in this war, we need to find someone who they know is wanted by the Mizukage and who the resistance would see as a valuable ally to their cause," Jiraiya informed the pair. "So who are we looking for? Some former Kiri ninja with bloodlines are not exactly going to willingly return to Kiri just so we can join the war and make a name for ourselves as an organization," Naruto said. "You're right, Naruto, but someone who has tried to assassinate the current Mizukage once already will. I want you two to track down Zabuza Momoichi, the demon of the hidden mist. I then want you to get him to agree to join us," Jiraiya said. "He sounds like a lovely guy and all that, but do you really think he will join us? I mean, you and Itachi-sensei maybe, but nobody knows who I am, and I doubt he will agree if it is just Itachi-sensei and myself that find him," Naruto said. "Don't worry about that, if you promise him you will help him kill Yagura, the current Mizukage, and can get him into the resistance, he will have to bite," Jiraiya said. "Does he have any companions?" Itachi asked. "3, I believe, the demon brothers be a ranked missing ninja who are little more than overgrown bottom feeders, and a girl named Haku. I do not have any information on her, but I can assume you two can handle them if they try to fight," Jiraiya said. "It could take quite a while to locate them, they have been on the run for some time after all. Our best bet would be to find the demon brothers who are bound to be more lax in security, as there will not be many hunter ninjas that will bother with them," Itachi said. "You say that, but for the last 6 months we have done nothing but stupid escort missions for private investors who are too cheap to pay one of the villages. And capturing lower level missing ninja, I haven't even had to use more than one to fight any of them," Naruto said. "You complain too much, Naruto-kun, let's go before that bouncer breaks free of the eye cast on him, the owner looks rather close to hitting him," Itachi said, and the pair stood up before disappearing in a swirl of leaves. Land of Waves. It had been months since Kakashi's team had graduated, and this was supposed to be their first C-rank mission. However, things did not always turn out like they are supposed to, as things were right now they were looking at an A-rank mission, and what was worse, the missing ninja they thought they had killed ended up only being in a death-like state. So things were not looking the best for Team 7. "I think tomorrow will be the day, everyone gets a good night's sleep and gets ready for the fight tomorrow," Kakashi said. Sakura and Hinata looked clearly worried, but Sasuke saw this as his chance to show what he could do, to judge how far he had come and how close he was to killing his brother. Yes, there were definitely two vastly different emotions running through the three genin, but they were all as ready as they would ever be. Kakashi was sure that Hinata and Sasuke could hold their own for at least a good length of time against whoever the masked ninja that saved his opponent the last time they met, but he still was having worrying thoughts about Sakura. She had not seemed to grow out of her fangirl attitude, and what made it worse was Sasuke starting to respect Hinata as a shinobi, meant that the Uchiha was showing more attention to the Hyuga than she liked. The next morning, Kakashi was not surprised at all to find the bridge empty and a strong mist fill the air. "So Zabuza, back for a second round it seems, and you brought some help it seems," Kakashi said. "Do you think you can fight both me and Haku at the same time?" "You are a good Kakashi, I will give you that, but you are not that good," Zabuza said. "I don't think I have to, my genin will be able to hold her off long enough for me to finish you," Kakashi said. The moment the copy ninja finished speaking, Sasuke charged forward. But he didn't get more than 2 feet across the gap before a large wave rose up from the ocean, knocking Sasuke back. "What was that? He didn't even use any hand seals?" Sakura asked. "He didn't do it, the chakra came from behind us," Hinata said with her Byakugan active. Kakashi took comfort at the sight that Zabuza and Haku seemed to be just as confused as the team from Konoha. "Hinata, can you see what we are dealing with?" Kakashi asked. Yes, it is not very clear because of the mist, but it seems to be clearing. There are two ninjas, but their faces are hidden behind hooded cloaks, Hinata said. What do you mean the mist is clearing? I haven't ended my Zabuza yelled. But sure enough all around them the most seemed to be lifting. Impossible, not even the sword Samahata could do this to my mist Zabuza thought. I can see what's happening, it's the smaller of the two new arrivals, he seems to be absorbing the chakra into his body, Hinata said, showing just how much her confidence had improved by only stuttering once. Someone that can absorb chakra from into their own body, that sounds like one hell of a skill Zabuza thought begrudgingly. I'm afraid we will have to put a stop to this little confrontation of yours. Zabuza is too important to risk in a fight against you, Kakashi's smooth voice called out as the last of the mist vanished, revealing the two-headed ninja clear as day. Who are you? And why do you think Zabuza is so important? Kakashi asked. But we are is not important, what is important is that we need Zabuza to join us, Naruto said calmly yet still with a sense of commanding in his voice. Haha, that's a good one kid, I don't even know who you are. Why would I join you? Tell you what, why don't you join me? That little skill to absorb could be useful, Zabuza said. I think he thinks he is superior to you, the taller hooded figure of Itachi said. I knew this would happen. We can get you into the resistance in the land of water and give you another crack at killing the Mizukage, Naruto said. Pull the other one, only people inside the resistance know where they are hidden, so only a member of the resistance can make that offer, Zabuza said. You seem to be underestimating our abilities, we know exactly where they are, but we need something that the resistance wants to get in. And that would be you, Zabuza Itachi said. Interesting offer, let me just kill this bridge builder and then we can talk, Zabuza said. Why would you want to do that, your employer is dead, he was planning on betraying you, we killed him and his men to stop that from happening, Naruto said. How do I know you are telling the truth and you are not just saying that to save the old man? Zabuza said. Naruto shrugged and pulled out a scroll tossing it to Zabuza. When the demon of the bloody mist opened the scroll the body of Geto appeared. What the hell happened to him? He doesn't look like he was poisoned, nor is there any sign of physical damage in any way, not even any signs of an induced death, Haku said shocked. Ah well, my companion has a rather unique way of dealing with people who are not being cooperative, Itachi said. Well looks like we are not enemies anymore Kakashi, but you two, I don't trust either of you, show me your faces, or I will not even think about going with you. Zabuza ordered. Wait a minute, Kakashi-sensei are you saying that's it? We're just going to let Zabuza and the masked hunter nin get away? Sasuke asked loudly. Yes Sasuke, he was just doing his job and we were doing our own, it was never anything personal, as far as I am concerned this is over Kakashi said. Well, can we do this elsewhere, somewhere less crowded perhaps? Naruto asked, not wanting shinobi from Konoha to see him or Itachi for that matter. No, you take your hoods off and show us your faces or we are not moving. Zabuza ordered. Very well then Itachi sighed and began removing his hood. Damn it, this isn't good that is bound to recognize Itachi Naruto thought, but it was not Kakashi who reacted first. No that honor was given to the raven-haired genin. Several kunai flew right at Itachi's face. Sasuke was shocked however, when the kunai seemed to stop in mid-air before falling harmlessly to the ground. The only movement any of them saw was Naruto raising his head showing off a pair of metallic purple eyes with a familiar rippling pattern. It's him, I can't believe it. After all these years is Naruto-kun Hinata stammered shocking Kakashi. Naruto removed his hood. Well, I expected Konoha to be aggressive at the sight of you, but I didn't expect a genin to attack like that, Naruto said. I did, it is my foolish little brother after all. Hello Sasuke, how are you? Itachi asked. I will be doing a lot better once I kill you. Sasuke yelled and charged forward a kunai drawn in each hand. Is he really serious? Trying to attack us is utter foolishness. Shinra-tensei. Naruto said lazily extending an arm sending a wave of compressed gravity towards the charging Uchiha that sent him flying back and Kakashi had to jump in the way to catch him. What was that and is that really Naruto? The hair is perfect but those eyes. And what was that he just sent Sasuke flying like he was nothing Kakashi thought. What is your name? Kakashi asked Naruto tentatively, ignoring Itachi for a moment. Me? Didn't Hinata just tell you? At least I assume your young Hyuga is Hinata, as she is the only person from Konoha to have seen me since I acquired the Rinnegan. But if you must hear it from me, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto said. Naruto Kakashi said under his breath and he felt at that moment like he had both won the lottery and had the breath knocked out of him by a kick in the gut. Itachi Uchiha, I must say it is an honor to meet someone like you and this kid you are traveling with seems to have quite the skill set as well. Maybe I will join you Zabuza said. Itachi what have you done to Naruto Kakashi yelled. I haven't done anything to him, we simply work together, Itachi said. Impossible, those eyes are not Naruto's. Kakashi said. He had the Rinnegan when I met him, I assure you I have not harmed him, nor am I entirely sure that I could if I tried. The Rinnegan is an amazing Dojutsu after all, Itachi said. Rinnegan? Impossible, that's nothing but a myth, Kakashi said, but the more he looked at Naruto's eyes, they did look just like the legendary Dojutsu. In any event, I am taking him back to Konoha where he belongs, Kakashi said. I am not a Konoha shinobi, so Konoha has no ownership of me, nor do you have any right to forcefully drag me back there. The only thing Konoha could claim is that I hold the Kyuubi, the Bijuu that is seen as property of Konoha, so if you wish to come after me because of that, feel free. But you will fail in your attempt to capture me, Naruto said. He knows about the Kyuubi, he probably hates Konoha. I feel like I have lost him and failed you all over again, Sensei, the copy ninja thought as he stood unmoving holding Sasuke from attempting another suicidal charge. Now Zabuza, are you coming or are we going to have to capture you and take you with us? Itachi asked to turn away from the Konoha ninja team. Yeah, it's not like we have anything better to do, let's go, Haku, Zabuza said, and they moved to join the two white-robed ninja who used to call Konoha home. Farewell, Konoha ninja, give my regards to the Hokage, it has been quite some time since I have seen Jiji after all, Naruto said before turning to leave. Wait, Naruto-kun. I need to tell you something, Hinata yelled, finally finding her voice. Naruto said, turning around while the others kept moving. I need to tell you. Thank you. Because you believed in me I was able to better myself, and now my clan doesn't think that I am a loser anymore, even my father is starting to see that I have potential, and it is all because of you, so thank you. Hinata said. I didn't do anything, Hinata, you did that yourself, but thanks anyway, Naruto said with a smile and turned away. Wait. Will I ever see you again? She asked, her voice trembling but surprisingly no stutter. Who knows, after all I am not a ninja of Konoha and still technically a resident, so I could return one of these days, if only for a little while, Naruto said, and raising his hood over his head, he gave Hinata a friendly smile before turning to follow Itachi and the new pair from Kiri. So what's this group of yours called? You surely have a name, Zabuza asked once Naruto caught back up to the group. Yeah, we are the Yoinakuchi, Naruto said. Yoinakuchi. Nightfall. I like it. Zabuza said as they walked away from the land of waves. So where are we going? Zabuza asked Itachi as their small group made its way silently through the land of fire. We have a hideout about halfway to Konoha. From there we can get in contact with the other members of our group, Itachi replied. And how many people are in the Yoinakuchi, Haku asked. At the moment 5, not including you two. We operate in pairs, as you can see, Naruto-kun is usually my team member. As for who the others are, well, the person in control would be Jiraiya-sama. And the other two, well, there is Akemi, she is Naruto's age and has a unique Kekkei Genkai swift release. And her brother Ikaru. They both fled from Kumo to avoid them putting the girl into a forced breeding to try and reproduce the bloodline limit, Itachi replied. Jiraiya? Do you mean Jiraiya, one of the legendary 3? Haku asked. Yes, he left the direct service of Konoha almost 4 years ago now, although he is still very loyal to the village, Itachi said. Why would someone like Jiraiya leave his village? Zabuza asked. He left because of Naruto here. He discovered him in the land of forests, but he was originally from Konoha, Itachi replied. He doesn't say much, does he? Since we left the land of waves, he has barely said a word, Zabuza said, indicating where Naruto was walking, his hood up covering his face. Normally he won't shut up, my guess is something is bothering him, Itachi said. The team from Konoha will inform them and will send a hunter ninja after us. I'm sure of it, Naruto said, finally speaking. We have time, Kakashi won't abandon his mission, Itachi said. Then I would say we have about 3 days before they start the search, are you sure this is the best hideout to use, Naruto said. Lighten up, kid, what are a bunch of hunter ninja going to do, we will just take care of them when they show themselves, Zabuza said with a wicked grin. I will not kill Konoha shinobi unless I am forced to, Naruto said. We should be fine, there are the best defenses we can make guarding the place. And we only need to stay there until we can get a message to Jiraiya-sama saying we found Zabuza, Itachi said. They walked for a few more miles before they came to a large boulder. Naruto moved up to it and simply brushed it out of the way like it was not even there. Well, it's no palace, but it is a damn sight better than the places we have been hiding, Zabuza said as he looked around. They had entered a large underground complex that seemed to run deep into the earth. Itachi showed them to their rooms. I'm going to go train, Naruto said, and left down a separate path. Alright, just try not to destroy anything, Itachi replied. It seems to be a little cold to us, Zabuza said. I don't think he approves of your line of work. Naruto-kun is a rather gentle person, so he usually dislikes people who kill for fun, it may take him a while to accept you as a member. Doesn't like people who kill for fun, huh? Then what is the point of this group? Zabuza asked. In essence we are mostly mercenaries, but most of what we do helps people. For example, we do not take missions to kill civilian bridge builders, Itachi said. You think you can talk to me like that and get away with it? I should leave you where you stand, Zabuza said. You're welcome to try, but I wouldn't recommend it. Your reasons for taking those missions are your own. None of us will truly know the type of person we are until we are about to die. Follow me, your rooms are this way, Itachi said expressionlessly and walked off. I like that, I guess doing good can't hurt, as long as I get to bust Yagura's shell, I could care less, Zabuza said. Haku on the other hand was thrilled to hear of the type of work they would be doing, but she also wanted to talk to Naruto and let him know that she also did not like killing when she could avoid it. They walked down several flights of stairs and made it to a large chamber with several doors on each side. Pick a room, the first two in the right are taken by our other two members, inside you will find everything you need, Itachi said. So where do you and the kids stay? Zabuza asked. Naruto-kun, Jiraiya-sama and I each have our own levels. If you are opposed to us having more room or dislike your room, take it up with Naruto-kun. He built this place after all, Itachi said and turned to leave, giving no further explanation. Well Haku, what do you think? If they can get me another crack at Yagura and into the resistance they have my support, Zabuza said. I think we should see what this is like first, then decide if we want to stay or not, Haku suggested. Yeah, why not? Come on, let's pick a couple of rooms, Zabuza said. Meanwhile Naruto was sitting in his training area in deep meditation when Itachi arrived. You know, if you act this way every time a missing ninja joins us, you won't end up liking many of the members, Itachi said. Naruto slowly opened his eyes and stood up. It is not that I dislike them, it's that their attitude is wrong, we are supposed to be striving for peace, and someone like Zabuza wants nothing but to destroy Naruto. Perhaps that is all he knows, he was made into the demon of the bloody mist, but you saw the way he looked at the girl, it was the way a father looks at his own child, there is hope for him, and you know it, Itachi said. Maybe, but I would like some proof before I show them any trust, Naruto said. Very well, how is your training coming along? Itachi asked. Not very well, I can picture what I want, but it is taking far too long to create, Naruto said. I do not think yin-yang chakra manipulation will be an easy thing to master, after all you are trying to create something out of nothing and breathe life into it. Perhaps you should continue by trying one at a time, try to create something that doesn't live. You might be attempting the impossible to do both, Itachi said. Yeah, maybe you're right. I think I have had enough for now, besides I need to go contact Jiraiya-sensei, Naruto said. Yes, that would be a good idea. By the way, do you know when Akemi and Akira will be returning? Itachi asked. Couple of days probably, it depends what mission they have taken. Although I don't see that it matters, won't we be off to the land of water soon enough to make contact with the resistance? Naruto asked. Maybe, that all depends on Jiraiya-sama. I do not think he will send all four of us to meet with the resistance in the land of water, a large group of powerful shinobi will be noticed. My guess is he will just send Zabuza and either myself or you and the girl, Haku, Itachi said. So he is going to split up our team when we have never failed a mission, no matter how difficult. That's insane. Naruto said. I do not believe it will be a permanent thing, just until we earn the trust of the leaders in the resistance movement, Itachi said. Oh well, guess I will just have to accept it if that's the way it turns out, Naruto said. Who knows, you might find it refreshing to be teamed with someone other than me, my emotionless style can be a bit of a come down from your usual energetic self when you are on a mission with Jiraiya-sama. I have seen that you are far more in control of your emotions, but less like yourself while we are teamed together, Itachi said. Oh well, I guess I have just given up trying to get you to lighten up, that's all, Naruto replied happily. Well, I am shocked, I didn't think you knew how to give up, Itachi said, allowing for a rare smile to cross his face. Konoha, 1 week later. Team 7 made their way to the mission hall for their debriefing with the Kakashi had made the team move as quickly as they could once the mission was complete so they could get back to Konoha as soon as possible. Team 7 reporting back from the completion of a successful C-A-ranked mission, Kakashi said. A-ranked? What do you mean A-ranked? Iruka yelled in shock. The mission became A-ranked due to the arrival of several missing ninja. In fact, it could almost be considered S-ranked after the appearance of missing ninja Itachi Uchiha, Kakashi said. What? You had a run-in with Itachi? The Hokage asked. Yes, Hokage-sama. What's more, he was not alone, he had a partner with him, Kakashi said. But would Itachi Uchiha, someone who killed his own clan in a quest for his own power, possibly have as a partner, I mean who would be brave and stupid enough to take that risk, Iruka said. Naruto Uzumaki, Kakashi said. What, I know that name. You mean the Kyuubi child? Iruka asked. That's enough, Iruka. Here is an ordered. Sorry, Hokage-sama, the academy teacher apologized. So Naruto was with him. This is most disturbing news, however, as Naruto-kun is not a ninja of this village, we cannot label him as a missing ninja, nor has he broken any laws to justify placing him in the bingo book, Hiruzen said. The old Hokage may have looked troubled on the outside, but inside he couldn't have been happier. The boy he once saw as a grandson was safe, and the most loyal ninja he knew was looking after him. He also knew this meant that Jiraiya would have been around someplace as well. That's not all, Hokage-sama. Naruto does not look the same, he may still have the spiky golden hair and the whisker marks, but his eyes have changed. They are no longer blue, Kakashi informed the Hokage. What do you mean, Kakashi-kun? Eyes do not simply change color, well, unless it is some sort of Kekkei Genkai, like the Sharingan, of course, Hiruzen said. That's the thing, Itachi said. Naruto possesses the Rinnegan. Naruto's eyes were completely purple, the iris and sclera were the same color, and it had this ripple pattern of concentric circles that expanded out from a tiny dot like pupil, Kakashi said. The pipe that he had been smoking fell from his mouth and hit the desk. That must be the real reason Jiraiya-kun never brought Naruto back to the village. There are people who would try and take Naruto's power for themselves no matter the cost. So Jiraiya did what he needed to, he wanted to make sure that Naruto would be safe. What can you tell me about Naruto's abilities? Hiruzen asked. I could not say. Sasuke attempted to attack Itachi twice. The first time he threw several kunai, and Naruto was able to stop them in mid-air without moving an inch. Then when Sasuke charged, Naruto sent him flying before he even got close to attack range with a wave of his arm, Kakashi said. I see. Anything else? Hiruzen questioned. Just one thing, when they first arrived we were about to start a battle with Zabuza Momoichi. We were stopped by Naruto and Itachi. From what Hinata said she saw with her Byakugan, Naruto seemed to absorb Zabuza's hidden mist, Kakashi said. I see, he sounds like a talented young shinobi then, as expected from someone with the eyes of the sage, Hiruzen said. We should send a team after them. Naruto belongs in this village, it's his home, Kakashi said. Is it? Naruto was 8 when he left the village, now he will be 13. 5 years, he has been gone for 5 years. His old apartment still stands maybe, but I do question how much of a home this place ever was to him. Hated and rejected his whole life, and I am sure wherever he found himself after he left here people didn't naturally shun him. In these last 5 years Naruto-kun has had a chance to live a life he never would have had if he stayed in Konoha, a happy one, the Hokage said. But Hiruzen-sama, surely you want him to return? Kakashi asked almost pleadingly. Certainly I do, but I want him to return on his own, not because we force him, the old Sarutobi said. Very well, I will not make any attempts to locate and return Naruto to the village, Kakashi said. Thank you, Kakashi-kun. Now I would like everyone in this room to swear that they will never say a word about Naruto or the Rinnegan to anyone once they leave this room, Hiruzen said. I don't see what's so great about those eyes. I bet the Sharingan is a far superior to Jutsu, Sasuke said. Yes, Sasuke-kun is right. Did you see those eyes that kid had? They were creepy looking. Even the Hyuga's pupil-less eyes look better, Sakura thought, which was greeted approvingly by her inner self. You may be right, Sasuke-kun. The Rinnegan is surrounded by uncertainty. We only have myths and legends to go on, so we do not know what powers the Rinnegan truly possesses. So the Sharingan may well be the superior to Jutsu, Hiruzen said, although he did not fully believe it himself. Yes, but there has to be something extraordinary about the child if Itachi Uchiha has taken an interest in the boy, Iruka said. There has always been something extraordinary about Naruto-kun, and it is not what you may think. I would challenge any person to truly get to know Naruto and not like him. He has this glow about him. Whenever he was around it was like seeing the will of fire incarnate, Hiruzen said. Will that be all, Hokage-sama? Kakashi asked. Yes, you are dismissed, the Hokage replied. The Oinakuchi hideout. It had been a week since Abusa and Haku had arrived, and it was fair to say the pair had found their stay comfortable. Lots of the luxuries that were often kept from missing ninja like proper showers and news of the outside world were easy to come by in the Oinakuchi hideout. They even had their own televisions and training facilities. In fact, the only thing that had Haku annoyed was the fact that she had as of yet failed to talk to Naruto and thank him for the opportunity to join the Oinakuchi and tell him that she admired him for not wanting to kill his opponents and only taking missions that help people. In fact, Naruto had been strangely absent. They had seen Itachi come and go from small scouting errands, but Naruto had not been seen at all. When questioning Itachi about this, he just told her not to worry about him and that he could handle himself. It wasn't until a week later that she saw Naruto again. She had gone outside to enjoy the sunshine and pick herbs when she saw Naruto casually walking towards the entrance of the base. This is my chance, I need to talk to him. Well, I have a chance, Haku thought as she put down her basket. Hello, Naruto, she said and waved to get his attention. Naruto stopped and turned to see what the girl wanted. Hi, Naruto said. Where have you been? We haven't seen you around for almost 2 weeks now, Haku said. Oh, I've been looking for Jiraiya-sensei, but he is a pain in the ass to find, Naruto said in a friendly manner. Oh, any luck? Haku asked. Not really, but I did manage to find one of his summoned toads, so he must be spying on someone and can't show himself. But at least I managed to get him the message, he should return here or at least to one of the other hideouts and get in touch with us via the radio link we have set up between the bases in a few days, Naruto said. Oh, that's good I suppose. I was wondering if I could ask you a question. Haku said. Well, technically you just did, but if you want to ask another one I see no problem with what Naruto said. Well, I was just wondering why you fight if you don't like killing. Haku said. Well, I guess I fight to protect others and make life easier for people in need, Naruto answered. I see, do you have anyone precious to you? Haku asked. Are you asking me if I have a girlfriend? Naruto asked. No, I was asking if there were any people in your life that you think of as precious, people that you would die to protect, Haku explained. Oh, I get it, yeah I guess I do, there's Jiraiya-sensei and Itachi-sensei. And I used to be really close to the Hokage, so I would even add him to the list, Naruto replied. I see, that's good. I always think true strength comes from the need to protect something, it allows you to dig deeper than you thought you ever could and become stronger. Zabuza-sama is my precious person. He found me when I was young, starving to death, and looked after me. In exchange I became his tool, I am his weapon because that is my purpose in life, Haku said. That's completely bullshit, you may think Zabuza thinks of you only as a tool, but I can tell that he thinks of you as much more than that. He sees you as a daughter, Naruto said. How would you know? You have barely even spoken to Zabuza-sama, and even then you did not seem to approve of him much, Haku said. His eyes give him away, the way he looks at you and positions himself while we were walking to shield you in case we turned on you. It is a skill Itachi-sensei taught me, you can read a lot about your opponent by simply watching their actions around people. His bloodthirsty attitude is a front that he puts up, he is hiding from himself and doesn't even realize what Naruto said. You know, you speak like you are much older than you look, Haku said. Yeah, I get that a lot, Naruto laughed, scratching the back of his head in slight embarrassment. I want to thank you for letting us join you and Itachi. For the first time since I was a young girl, I feel like I have a place that accepts me, a place that I can call home. I have never had that with Zabuza-sama, as we were always on the run from Kiri's hunter ninja or taking missions for questionable characters, trying to fund Zabuza-sama's next coup attempt, Haku said. No worries, but you shouldn't thank me, you should thank Jiraiya-sensei. He was the one who ordered us to recruit you, Naruto said. Just out of curiosity, what would have happened if we refused? Haku asked. Well, to you, nothing. But we would have just captured Zabuza and delivered him to the resistance as a gift to gain their trust, Naruto said. Do you really think you could capture Zabuza-sama that easily? Haku asked skeptically. It wouldn't be too difficult, I imagine we would have had a harder time deciding which of us got to fight, Naruto said casually. You're kidding, right? Zabuza-sama was one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist, they were elite ninjas from Kiri Haku. True, but Itachi and I are not exactly your run-of-the-mill shinobi. When you fight Itachi it is basically over the moment you make eye contact with him, and I could probably defeat him with my gravity without even moving, Naruto said. Gravity, can you show me some? Haku asked. I guess so, I will just keep it small though. Chibaku Tensei, Naruto said. He created a small black orb in his palm and sent it away from his body. Haku watched wide-eyed as the earth lifted to create a small ball of earth compressed into a small ball about the size of Haku's fist. Naruto dropped it before it got too big and let the orb fall to the ground. Bansho Tenin, Naruto said, extending an arm toward the orb, and it shot forward into the palm of Naruto's hand. Wow, that's amazing, Haku said as she stared at the compressed ball of earth. Well, it's nothing to the damage that can really do. Although to tell the truth, I have never really tried it out, Naruto admitted. It's still amazing, I mean I have never seen a gravity jutsu before, Haku admitted. Yeah, I guess it's pretty cool. Someone is approaching, wait, more than one, I think it's 2 people, Naruto said, turning to the east. Are they a threat? Haku asked tentatively. No, I know who it is, Naruto said, relaxing as 2 ninja in white cloaks appeared. The younger of the 2 was a kunoichi around the same age as Naruto, although she was slightly taller. She had long black hair, with bright yellow highlights that ran down to her waist. And yellow eyes with black pupils. The other taller member of the pair was slightly older than Itachi and had light brown curly hair and the same eyes as the girl who Haku realized must have been his sister. You guys have been gone for a while, what happened when you got into some trouble with your last mission? Naruto asked. You could say that we went to clear out a bunch of bandits, but found that most of them were missing ninjas from Iwa, the boy said. Yeah, that would be about right, man, you guys always get all the luck. Every time Itachi-sensei and I get a bandit mission, it is always only 2 or 3 bad guy wannabes, we never get groups of ninja, Naruto said. Yeah, well, we will swap any day, a bunch of unlevel ninja may be child's play for you and Itachi. But we are not you, that mission was tough. And by the way, who's the new girl? The dark-haired Kunoichi asked. Oh yeah, Akemi, Akaru, this is Haku. She came here with Zabuza Mamachi, Naruto said. Oh yeah, Jiraiya-sama said you had found him, he will be back in 2 days to give us our next assignments, Akaru said. It's about time, we have been waiting 2 weeks, Naruto said. What do you care, last time I saw you, you were whining about never having any time off, Akemi replied. Maybe I just like to complain about Naruto jokes. That's not a maybe, I have never met anyone who likes to complain more than you do, Akemi laughed. Come on inside so you can meet Zabuza, you could end up working with him at some point, so may as well try and get to know him better. In truth I am guilty of avoiding him myself, Naruto suggested. The 6 members of the Oinakuchi had spent the last 2 days getting to know each other better while they waited for Jiraiya to show up. And it wasn't until late in the afternoon on the second day of waiting since the return of Akemi and Akaru that Jiraiya finally entered the base. Welcome back, Jiraiya-sensei, I thought you would have gone to one of the other bases, I mean this is a long way to come from the land of rice fields, Naruto greeted Jiraiya as he sat down to relax. Why not come here, this is our main hideout after all, Jiraiya said. What were you doing that was so important there anyway, the place is just a bunch of rice farmers, Naruto said. The Sound Village, Odo. It's a new village that has sprung up recently, Jiraiya said. So what? I mean it's not like it will be a very dangerous village if it is only new, Zabuza said. That's the thing, it isn't a real village at all, which makes me wonder why they would declare themselves as one, Jiraiya said. What do you mean they're not a real village? Akaru asked. I mean I have been to every part of the country and there is no hidden village. But there is a hidden base owned by an old friend of mine, Jiraiya said. Orochimaru, huh, so what is he up to now? Why declare a village that doesn't exist? Naruto questioned. Well, I have an idea, but I can't really prove it, Jiraiya replied. Well, don't just sit there, tell us what you think the scaly freak is up to, Zabuza said. He needed to be a village so he could do something only a village was allowed to do, something that forced him to make the claim of a village. I think he wants to send people who work for him for whatever reason to either their exams in Konoha, Jiraiya said. What good would that do? New countries can only send a maximum of 2 teams to the exams, so if he plans to attack Konoha with that few units, he may as well just attack from the outside for all the good it would do him. Why not just register the teams as wandering shinobi? Itachi said. I don't know, perhaps he is after something else or is using this as a chance to get close to Sarutobi-sensei so he can kill him. All I know is I am positive Orochimaru has something planned during the exams and it is never good when Orochimaru has something planned involving Konoha, Jiraiya. So what do you suggest we do? We can't exactly warn the Hokage if we don't know what that snake has planned, Naruto said. In that case we will just have to be on hand to stop him should anything occur, Jiraiya said. What do you want us to break into Konoha in the middle of the exams? Naruto asked. Not at all, you are going to compete, Jiraiya said. I'm what? You're kidding me, right? We don't have a village to compete for and I don't even have a team. Naruto yelled. We will enter you as a team of wandering ninja and I think you do have a team. Akemi is your age and has no past ninja alliances with any other village as she was not a ninja when her brother left Kumo. And Haku was never a ninja of Kiri due to her bloodline limit. That will be your team, Jiraiya said. This time it was Akemi's turn to blow a fuse. You want me to compete in the exams against a bunch of weaklings? Come on, Jiraiya-sama, I mean I am at least a low level and Naruto is at the same level as Itachi, I have never seen him lose a fight, this is overkill. She yelled. I think it's a good idea, Akaru said. But why? Akemi replied angrily. People from all over the elemental countries will be there, when one of you wins the tournament it will gain us all some reputation, and people will look to find you for their missions, the angry Kunoichi's brother said calmly. Hey, what about the rest of us? Are we just going to sit on the sidelines? Zabuza asked. Actually, Zabuza, you will be going to the land of water with Itachi. We need to gain the trust of the resistance, and you are our key-in, they know that you are a wanted man in Kiri for an attempt on Yagura's life in a failed coup, Jiraiya said. That does sound good. Looks like you are going with the kid for a while, Haku, Zabuza said. As Zabuza-sama, Haku said, slightly upset to have to leave the swordsman. Don't worry, it will only be for a few months, until after the exams, and the resistance allows more of us to help out in their war, Jiraiya said. That is everyone else sorted, but what about me? Akaru asked. I need you to go around the land of fire and rice fields and gather whatever information you can on what Orochimaru is planning. People in the land of rice fields will probably be more willing to talk to you than me as you are classified as a missing ninja. So anyone who actually knows anything may think you are willing to join them, Jiraiya explained. And let me guess, you will be doing research, Naruto said. Well, I haven't done any research in Konoha in 5 years, and they have always had some of the best specimens, Jiraiya said, weakly tapping his index fingers together. You know, for a leader you certainly don't do much when there are important things to do, Naruto said. What does he mean by research? Haku asked. You don't want to know what Itachi said expressionlessly. Look, we all have our assignments. The exams are not for a month yet, so you three can stay here and relax, retrain. I will go talk to sensei about signing you three up. Itachi, Zabuza, you can leave whenever you are ready. I have marked the island and location of the Resistance HQ on the map in your room, and Ikaru, the sooner you can leave to gather information the better, Jiraiya said. So that's it, we just go do the tasks we are given? Zabuza asked after Jiraiya left the room. Yes, that's about right, come let's prepare for the trip, you know the land of water better than I do, so I need to know what to expect on the different islands, Itachi said, and he too left the room. The following day everyone had left the base, leaving the three younger ninja alone to prepare in whatever way they saw fit for the upcoming exams. Konoha, 2 days later. Night had fallen over the village hidden in the leaves, and the Hokage had once again fallen behind on his paperwork, causing him to stay long into the night. Will this accursed bane of my existence never end? Hiruzen yelled in frustration as he began on yet another stack. You should really do your work during the day instead of spending so much time smoking. Then came the voice of Jiraiya from the windowsill. Jiraiya-kun. Come in, Hiruzen said warmly, waving Jiraiya to enter. Jiraiya compiled, but rather than take a seat he simply leaned against a nearby wall. So to what do I owe the pleasure of your company? Decided to return to serve the village once more? Hiruzen asked hopefully. Not exactly, but I do have some information and some aid that you could use, Jiraiya said. And what may that be? The Hokage questioned. Orochimaru. He is the leader of Odo. I also believe he has something planned for the exams, in fact I am almost certain of this, Jiraiya said. I see, thank you for this information. And what aid can you offer to handle this threat? The old Sarutobi asked. The three ninja genin team. Naruto Uzumaki, Haku Momoichi and Akimi Heiaku, Jiraiya said. You plan on bringing Naruto here? He is coming back to the village. Hiruzen questioned. Not for long, just the duration of the exams to make sure nothing happens. But I will warn you, keep Danzo and the elders away from Naruto, if they attempt anything you could be looking at a rather hefty cleanup, Jiraiya said. I will certainly do my best. Tell me, how strong is Naruto? Hiruzen asked. Well, I have been training him for the past 5 years, so he is a damn sight better than any genin, that's for sure, Jiraiya said. I see, now what about the Rinnegan? Does he truly possess the power of the Rikido Sennin? The Hokage asked. Well, the Rinnegan, yes. As for the power of the sage. Well, it's a bit soon to tell, he is only 13 after all, but his chakra supplies are massive, he can do things with chakra I have never seen done before, some of his skills are quite frankly frightening. Add to that he has some monster strength, enough to be able to stop one of my kicks with a single arm. Only myself and Itachi can give him a run for his money in a fight, and I have a feeling that he has been holding back lately, Jiraiya said. And you want me to put him in the genin exams? Even after hearing that, Hiruzen said almost disbelievingly. That's about right, I want them all entered as wandering shinobi. You can use me as the team's official sensei, Jiraiya said. I will agree, on one condition, the Hokage said. And what's that? Jiraiya asked cautiously. I want them to arrive a week before the exams. I would like to see how Naruto has grown up, Hiruzen said. Very well, I can arrange that. May I suggest keeping his arrival a secret? Also, he refuses to hide his eyes, damn, says they are part of who he is. I took him to Tsunadeheim for him to learn her unique henge to hide them, but he stopped using it after about 6 months, Jiraiya said. Very well, I look forward to his arrival eagerly, Hiruzen said with a smile. The pair sat and talked for a while, but eventually Jiraiya left the age to the eternal hell that is paperwork. The weeks passed quickly and it was soon the week before the exams. Naruto, Jiraiya and the two Kunoichi were slowly approaching the main gate of Konoha. So where are we staying while we are in Konoha? Akimi asked. Your guess is as good as mine, I am sure they have some hotels set up for visiting teams, Naruto replied. Yeah, you guys will be staying at a hotel, don't worry though, you are going to be given great rooms, the Hokage made sure of it, Jiraiya assured their genin. The 4 ninja arrived at the gate and were immediately called over to deliver their passports. Name and ninja registration papers for any people competing in the exams, the gate guard said, not bothering to look up from his desk. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto said proudly and handed over the paper form he had to fill out to compete in the exam. The two Kunoichi in Naruto's team followed Naruto's lead and handed over their papers after giving their names. Naruto Uzumaki. You know that name sounds familiar. Oh well, it's probably nothing, who is your accompanying sensei? The gate guard asked, still not bothering to look up from his desk. That would be me, Jiraiya said proudly. The gate guard slowly raised his head, but when he saw the man who was the acting sensei, his eyes bulged. Jai Jiraiya-sama, you're back. The gate guard stammered. I guess I am, now would you please allow my team entrance, Jiraiya said. Why yes of course, the guard said, stamping the passports and handing them back to the three waiting ninja. Wow, can you believe Jiraiya-sama has a team competing in these exams? I bet they are all going to walk into the gate guard who stamped the passports. Yeah, say, did that kid with the blonde hair and purple eyes look familiar to you? The other guard asked. Yeah, sorta reminded me of that Kyuubi kid that disappeared all those years ago, the first guard replied. Yeah, what was that kid's name? The other guard asked. I have no idea, I don't think anyone ever paid any attention to the kid. I remember him yelling his name, saying he was going to be Hokage one day, but I can't remember it. When you think about it, it isn't really a surprise that the kid never returned to the village, the first guard said. Meanwhile, back with Naruto. The group of ninja were walking through the main street of Konoha, looking around, almost unsure of where they were supposed to go. Hey sensei, where are you taking us? Naruto asked. To the hotel you will be staying at. It is the diplomatic hotel beside the Hokage Tower. It is usually just reserved for emissaries from other villages and daimyos and rich businessmen, but the Hokage made 3 rooms available for you guys, Jiraiya said. Well, that's nice of him, Akemi said happily. Yeah, I owe Gigi big time for this, Naruto said. Well, he wants to see you after you get settled in, preferably before you go explore the village, Jiraiya informed the blonde. Well, it's not like there is a better place to start. I haven't seen the old man in such a long time. It will be great to catch up with him, Naruto said enthusiastically. Naruto, just to remind you, we are not here on some holiday, we have a job to do as well. Jiraiya said. If that is so, then why are you carrying a map of Konoha with all the women-only bathhouses, marked in little red crosses? Naruto replied. This is important research, Orochimaru may be sneaking around anywhere. Jiraiya yelled back. And I am sure he just loves to hide amongst a bunch of women who are bathing, Akemi said, bristling slightly in anger. Jiraiya wisely dropped the subject and picked up the pace of his walking. After all, the sooner he made it to his favorite places in Konoha. The hotel was more like a mansion, and every room they went to was furnished with the finest wood furniture Naruto had ever seen. They even had genin on hand at almost all times to carry bags. The genin, who was currently carrying Akemi and Haku's bags as Naruto and Jiraiya used sealing scrolls, led them to their rooms, well, the rooms of the genin. Jiraiya had told them he had a place to stay while he was in Konoha, so he didn't need a hotel room. Naruto's room was massive, it looked more like an average-sized apartment for one, rather than a hotel room. There was a massive wooden queen-size bed, a complete kitchen and even a walk-in wardrobe. I definitely owe Gigi a thank you for this, as Naruto thought as he looked around before resting on the bed. There was a knock on the door and Akemi and Haku entered. Looks like you got an amazing room as well, that old Hokage really knows how to make people feel welcome. This is great, I might never return to the Yoinakuchi and become a full-time shinobi of Konoha if I always get treated this well, Akemi said as she looked around the room. I doubt they will let you keep the room if you are not a guest. I also doubt Gigi would have given us such great rooms if it wasn't for Jiraiya-sensei, Naruto said. Yeah, you are just scared that I will leave the group after all without me, and now Haku, the group is all guys, Akemi said. Well, do what you want. I need to go see Gigi, after all I did say I would go there after I found my room, Naruto said. Are you going to wear your Yoinakuchi cloak? Isn't that dangerous? Haku queried. Not really, the cloaks are a bit of a new touch, in fact I am still deciding on what color I want them, Naruto said offhandedly as he left the room. Naruto left the hotel and walked the short distance to the Hokage Tower. Sitting at a desk on the ground level of the tower was a woman with short brown hair reading a magazine. Hello, I would like to see the Hokage, Naruto said with a smile. He said he is not to be disturbed, and anyway, I am not just going to allow entrance to the Hokage to anyone who comes in and just asks for it, the receptionist said. He told me to come here, I believe he is expecting me, Naruto said. Fine, I will ask him, what is your name? The woman asked. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto replied casually. What did you just say? There is no way you can be him. The receptionist said. Why is that? I am Naruto Uzumaki. I don't know exactly how to prove it, but I am starting to realize why Jiraiya-sensei always enters Gigi's office by the window, Naruto said. Very well, I still don't believe you, but follow me and I will go ask Hokage-sama if he is truly expecting you, the woman said, and after putting her magazine down, she stood and began to lead Naruto up a spiraling staircase. Wait here, I will go and see Hokage-sama, he will tell me if he is expecting you or not, the receptionist said. Several seconds later she reappeared and told Naruto to enter. How's it going, old man? Naruto said happily as he casually entered the room. Naruto-kun. It has been far too long. I hope you are not too busy to visit an old man more often. Look at how you have grown, it looks like you are no longer the shortest person in your age group, Hiruzen said. Good to see you as well, Jiji, Naruto replied. Now before we continue I must ask about the Rinnegan. Do you mind if a curious old man takes a closer look at your eyes, Hiruzen asked. Sure thing, although they are not much to look at, Itachi-sensei's Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan are much cooler looking, Naruto said. Yes, well I have seen plenty of Sharingan in the past, this could be the only chance I will ever get to see the eyes of the Rikidou Sennin, Hiruzen said as he got out from behind his desk and moved over to Naruto and lowering himself to Naruto's eye level. Amazing, such a small pupil, how is your vision? Hiruzen asked. Oh, it's perfect, I can even see chakra, but it gets kinda weird if I use shadow clones, so I try to avoid that, Naruto admitted. Really, why's that? The Hokage queried. Well, my vision splits into what I see and what the clone sees, it is a real pain in the ass, but it works great for spying and information gathering, Naruto said. Amazing, what else can those eyes of yours do? Hiruzen asked eagerly. Come on, Jiji. I can't go telling you that, I need to keep some secrets, you know. I am a ninja after all, Naruto said. Oh, very well, that will be all. Anyway, tell me about what you have been up to. I won't get a better chance than this to find out how you have grown up, Hiruzen said. Not much really, for most of the time it was just myself, Itachi-sensei and Jiraiya-sensei training, so I could look after myself against anyone who recognized my eyes and tried to either take them for themselves or control me. After that we started taking on freelance work to help people in need or capture missing ninja. Naruto explained, not wanting to give away too much about the Yoinakuchi. Well, it sounds like you are doing well for yourself. Life around here has been rather quiet with you gone, we no longer have large groups of genin and chasing a young troublemaker around the village, Hiruzen chuckled. If it makes you happy I could always pull a few pranks. I had a great one planned for the final year of the academy to use just before I graduated, Naruto said. I think it would be for the best if you didn't, I enjoy the stress-free life, the aged Hokage laughed. Elsewhere in Konoha. Team 7 were training in their teamwork. Sasuke had recently awoken his Sharingan while training with Kakashi to spot fast-moving objects. They were currently working on the group skills by having Kakashi throw rocks at Hinata while she destroyed them with strikes of her Taijutsu style. Sasuke was attempting to intercept the stones to increase his speed and strength. And Sakura was attempting to affect Kakashi's aim with various things she knew, but was having varied success. Okay, good job guys, in fact you all worked together so well today that I am going to enter you all into the Chunin exams in a week's time, Kakashi informed his team. Are you sure we are ready? We have only been out of the academy for 6 months, Hinata said. We're ready, besides even if we don't graduate it will be a good learning experience, Sasuke said. Yes, Sasuke-kun is right, Sakura said, although she agreed with Hinata. Well, I will see you all tomorrow with the forms to fill out. Bye, Kakashi said before disappearing in a large puff of smoke. Hinata and Sasuke left their separate ways. Typically Sakura followed Sasuke like a lost puppy until he told her he didn't want to go on a date with the pink-haired Kunoichi. So in the end Sakura walked home slightly depressed at her true love. I was still not interested in her. As she was walking home she passed by the Hokage tower at the very same moment Naruto was leaving to return to his hotel. That was the baka who was with Sasuke-kun's brother. If I can capture him he will have to tell Sasuke-kun everything he knows about his brother. And Sasuke-kun will finally take notice of me. Sakura